What's up, y'all? Coming at you after work. I just got through walking my dog, Roscoe. And I'm trying to sign in to Zoom so that I can reconnect to my Slack. For whatever reason, it's not working. So just give me a minute. It's always something. I've learned. It's always, oh, come on. No. Please, no. Let's try this again. This only happened after I signed into another account in my Slack account, and now nothing works. Fuck. Anyways, I don't really have much planned other than some of these videos that I put in a playlist today. They were playing through on the TV throughout the day, and whenever I noticed something that seemed like it would be interesting to watch a little bit later, I added it. One of the cool things about YouTube, if you're in a house or in a, where all your stuff is connected, you can see what's playing on your other devices or on your TV, in my case, and you can queue a playlist. You can add things to playlists. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing. Why is... I understand what's going on right now. All right, let me switch accounts. All right, I'm gonna try this one more time because this is very frustrating. Fuck. It keeps trying to log me in. Here, I'm gonna share my screen. It keeps trying to log me in to my work account. This is why I never wanted to add my work account to my own machine, and now I'm having to deal with the problems in my own time. This really sucks. All right, let me sign out of the other account. Sign out of that. All right, and then we will also move this over here. Let's figure out why in the hell this isn't working. Or maybe it is working. Let's try it again. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. All right, cool. It's working now. All right, cool. So yeah, it seems to be working now. So I'll go ahead and join my own meeting. Yo, what's up? Casual comments. By the way, I don't know if you know this. I re-added you to this because when you let me know that you lost your access to the Slack, I re-added you the next day. Just FYI. So it's been a few weeks, months, maybe. I don't know. But you're in there. Just FYI. Let me move this to another screen. Yeah, I picked up on the stream because my goal is $400. It's that simple. So since the goal is $400, I need to get $400. And at the beginning of this month, I was at $168, which, if you know a little bit about math and how our years work, which I know you do, June is the 6th month of the year. It's also the halfway point of the year. And, if I wanted to be on track, I needed to be at around $200 at the beginning of this month. By the end of this month, I need to be at 233, but I'm going to try to overshoot that just to account for some known travel that I have to do. I got to go to Virginia for a friend's birthday party. And I think there might be a company on-site or off-site that I might have to go to later in the year. And I also want to go to Japan. That's Japan, Seoul, or Thailand. I want to go somewhere. I just want to leave this place. Oh my gosh, I need to leave this place. So part of the motivating function for me to be able to do that is to finish this goal, right? So that's what I told myself. I can't travel. I can't do any of the things that I would normally want to do until after I am in a good position to meet this goal, because I didn't meet it last year. And the reason why I didn't meet it last year is because I decided to go out and travel. So it's, you can call it punishment if you want. I'm punishing myself. Oh yeah, bro, there's no worry. There's no rush here, bro. I'm just letting you know. Cause I was looking, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot that I re-added you. And then there's someone else who I added too. Jay, well, Hoosier. I don't know if he's been around lately. But yeah, he's here too. All right, let me find these videos that I want to go through. Oh, excuse me. All right, I think I got, yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there. Oh man, I'm looking at these Ducatis with the exhaust that I want, and it's making it hard. I said I wasn't gonna buy an exhaust. I said it, but I don't. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Every time I started my bike and it sounds like a sewing machine, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need a new exhaust. For real, for real. All right, where is this playlist? Oops. I wish that when I click on a playlist, it didn't just play it. I only want to see the playlist. I don't actually want to play any of this shit. Okay. All right. Some of this I may have to open up Instagram. Now that I think about it. All right. We're gonna have to figure out how to get my device shared. So let's try that. Let's figure that out right quick. We got Cam and Guest. All right. Come to this, and let's see if we can select my iPhone as a device. No, of course not. Why would I be able to do that? Okay. Okay. Let's figure out how to work Ecamm. So I'm gonna add a new camera overlay. All right, that's me. You're seeing me twice. All right, and then we're gonna do this iPhone. I don't see anything. Oh wait. All right, cool. Install software update to connect. Sure, fine. So this is my phone's background, but it's weird right now. I don't understand what's going on. Something's downloading though. That's what's happening. All right, so while that downloads, let's go through this right here. Oh, by the way, I'm leaving Adobe too. I was gonna go through that too. All right. Oops. Really don't want full screen. All right, can't install the software update because it's not currently available from the soft. Wait, why? What the fuck? What do you mean? That makes no sense. All right, what if I just do this? Oh, I see what's happening. All right, I get it. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this right there. There we go. In fact, I think we're gonna do a custom size here. All right, so do that. Cool. Yeah, we'll just kind of have this, you know. Wait, is it not gonna? Yeah, we'll kind of just have this floating in the front. And let me make sure that we can get audio playing through here. All right, so apparently I don't have that app that I thought I had that lets me hear sounds. So what I'll do is I'll just open up this app, which has sounds. And let's go to the stories. We'll just take one of these. And I'll play it. And I'm only playing this so I can hear the sound. So I'm going to stop the music. We don't need music anymore. I'm going to also turn off all of this stuff and turn it up just slightly. And let's unmute the iPhone. And let's see if this actually works.
Alice 的留学生活。
Okay, so I see audio
Alice 是
going
美
into the
国
screen,
人，
but I don't hear it.
在中国留学。
So
他是
all right,
北
this
京
isn't
大
gonna
学
work.
的学
I
生，
need to be able to hear the
现
audio.
在上大
What if
二。
I do
刚来到中国的时候
audio out?
，Alice 很开心，
Then we'll send this to
因为
my
中
external
国
headphone,
和美国很不一样。
which
他每天都会碰到
I
很
don't know
多
what they are.
有意思的事。 他经常去故宫、
all right, well, let
国
me
家
stop this. This isn't going to work. It's not going to work the way I thought. Oh, man. I'm just going to log in. Maybe. Oh, wait. No. I figured it out. I had to click
博
playthrough.
物馆参
There we
观。
go. I can hear it now.
在那里，他看到了很多中国的文物。
But now it seems like it's playing twice, which is weird. It's really weird. And what if I mute here? Don't hear it.
但是几个月以后，
All right, I don't know. I'm going to assume that y'all only hear it once. I don't know. Let's just move forward and reshare. It echoes though? Okay, yeah, that's what I was assuming because I see it playing through in my my virtual channel for whatever reason. I don't know why. All right. I will have to try to open it up and I don't know. I don't know how to I don't know how to fix this one. Is the echo bad? Is it like terrible or is it bearable? What if I just turn it all the way down and play it? Now I don't hear it at all.
试着和中国人交朋友。
Okay. Let me go to the output here and make sure that it's yes. One thing that I wish that Ecamm had was better audio routing. You get no control over it. You get almost no control over where your audio is or where it's going. So what I think is happening is it's using my system audio and it's going to that device instead of going to the virtual device that I've set up for every other thing. So we'll just go to Instagram on the internet in a browser, a private window browser. I saved it to my account. That's why I'm like, it's there, but it's easier if I just do it from my phone because I normally don't use Instagram on a computer. All right, so let me go ahead and turn off the iPhone now since it's not going to work. Never save, never notify. Okay, now I got to figure out how to use Instagram. Okay, I figured it out. Here we go. Cool. So there was, wait, was it here? Yeah, it's here. Yes, this right here. This is what we're gonna start. This is what we're gonna start off with, which y'all don't see it. So let me switch over to the right browser. All right, so I think now you can see it. Hopefully, make it a little bit bigger. All right, cool. So let's see if the audio works. No, the audio doesn't work. Oh, okay, I'm done.
So many girlfriends who are highly accomplished, highly educated, great people, and just wonderful women. And the dating pool is absolutely brutal for
What
them.
are these men looking for?
Interesting though. All right, so I want already She's asking, what are they looking for? And what I'm just confused. Like, that seems like a question, and that's a disingenuous question, in my opinion. It's a question in bad faith because men have consistently stated what it is that they're looking for. They're very clear about it. And for whatever reason, when we say what it is that we want, they don't accept it. They refuse to accept it. And they say, no, that's not what you want. Like, you want this, or they basically try to shame you into accepting them, even though that's not what you want. So that's kind of what I'm hearing here. But whoever this guy is, I don't know who he is, but we're going to have to figure out who he is. Maybe y'all can tell me who he is. But just listen.
It is entirely unclear to me that it's like, why are there men not jumping to want to date them? So
this guy.
Well, Alicia, those are not bizarre and unrealistic expectations, because reality is that ultimately men want to build a family, okay? And most men don't want to be with an accomplished and educated woman because those women are entitled, demanding, and a pain to deal with. Even different studies would tell you that that's the case. So most of your accomplished and educated friends are very likely to end up with a cat instead of a family, just like Whoopi.
Like, whoever did that edit, I don't know if this is real. That can't be real. I mean, but who is that guy? Who is he? Because people, oh, is it this guy? Damanu, who is he? Producer. Is it really him? She called him a looksist. The hell's a looksist?
He's such a looksist, too, you know. Besides the fact, first of all, he can't believe that a beautiful girl.
Interesting that there's this phenomenon that I've noticed from a certain group of people. And I'm not talking about, this group of people who we're looking at. Just like, I'm going to say they similar to the Bolsheviks. How about that? It's a certain group of people who they'll put ist at the end of anything as a label, and they try to use that label to discredit and to essentially lower your status, remove your status, so that they can bring you to their level, so that they can essentially stomp you out. That's kind of what I'm hearing here. Like, what the hell is a looksist? Is that someone who values beauty? Like, I'm a looksist then.
Girl like that would not be on his team.
he is the smallest man who ever lived. He thinks the only way to pay a woman a compliment is
You see how they're using shaming language? He's the smallest man. But if he were to turn around and say you are the biggest woman, all of a sudden all hell would break loose. Body shaming. We need body positivity now. And it's interesting, right? When you see these hypocrites and then they want to try to, virtue signal and gaslight you into believing that like you are the problem, when in reality, it's very much them. And I'm starting to notice there's a swing back of people not tolerating this disrespect, this misandry. It's essentially what it is. It's misandry. And what it's done is it's destroying society. Why? Well, it's because men build society. I hate to break it to you. It's actually men who build society. So, if you break down men, then you are essentially breaking down society. And now all of these people who don't need men are out here complaining about where are the good men at. It's like, I hate to tell you, but we don't want you. Like, we're avoiding you. I think that's where all of the good men are. Like, I'm here at home. When I do go out and there are these people out there, they're kind of disgusting. I actually went to a lounge. One of my friends owns a lounge, and when I was hanging out with a group of my friends. It was some female friends as well as some guy friends, and there were some other girls out like next to us, sitting in a corner or whatever. And I remember my friend had just got there, and he was like, "Oh, like I need to park." So I was like, "Well, just go give the valet cash." He didn't have cash because a lot of us don't carry cash, believe it or not. I happen to have cash for whatever reason. It was in my car, so I had to go to my car and get cash so that he could pay the valet so he can park. And when I got back, me, him, and his cousin, we got back inside of the building, and the girls who were sitting next to me at that time, they were out. They decided to hop up on the couches, so I couldn't even sit down where I was sitting down anymore. They decided to hop up on the couches, and they were twerking for like 30, 40 minutes. And they were big ones too, big and dark. And I was just like looking at them, just disgusted, just like, y'all, it's embarrassing. They're literally an embarrassment to me. 'Cause I'm looking at these people like, do you realize that despite what you think, the other people in this room, they look at you as black women, because that's what they are. And I'm a black man. So it's like, you're making the whole race look bad with this disgusting behavior. And the idea that, that they think men would want that. Because they kept trying to come and talk to us. I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. I don't. If your weight starts with a 1-3, no. No. You need 1, 2, 3. It's the heaviest I'm willing to accept. Your weight, the digits, they need to be contiguous. 1, 2, 3. Anything after that, too heavy. Sorry. Not sorry. It's my preference, right? We all have preferences. It's bearable. I don't know. I just decided to open it up in the web browser. Now I don't know. I'm ready for the stream. I'm dealing with girl problems about ready to walk. I mean, shit. Like, why are you dealing with it? Like, what is it helping you with? What do you get out of it? You know what I got from all of my girlfriends? I got jack shit. That's what I got. I got headaches. I got nagging. I got smaller bank account. Basically everything. Nothing. It gave me nothing. And now that I look back, like one of them, she was like, "Oh, I deserve better. I want to go travel. All this BS crap, whatever." She now can't keep a stable job, and all I can say is looking at her now, I'm like, I dodged a bullet. Good riddance, thank God. If you're watching this, thank you for stepping aside. You are right. You didn't deserve someone like me. You deserve lower than me. Dead ass. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry though. I go up to 130. Yeah, I'm. You know what? I'm having standards now. I'm bringing back strong standards now, bro. Nah. Why should I have to accept 130 unless you're over 5'10"? If you're 5'10", okay, sure, 135. But if you're not 5'10" or taller, then it's like, nah. You need to be half my weight, and I don't weigh 240, so I think I'm being a little bit gracious. I'm about 215 right now, so half my weight is a little bit less than 120. But yeah, anyway, let's see what this is. What she's over here complaining about looks is
to repeatedly compliment her. So Taylor Swift has never been told she's pretty before, and like that just might bring her around to his side. It just shows how his brain works.
Okay, Alicia, Joy, the things that you're saying are not really a Trump thing. Look, most men compliment.
Wait, is this real? Is this real though? Like, hold on. I don't know if I don't want. Is he really on the show? I'm starting to think maybe this is actually real. Let me check. His name is something Dama something. DAMONAMANI. Damon Nemani. So he's on Instagram. Is he on YouTube? Okay, yeah, he is. Reposted some Damon in my main channel videos. Oh wow, actually, oh wow, oh so this was real. Oh my god. Oh, that changes things. I thought this was one of those like edits where they kind of they have the people in there having this conversation that has nothing to do with what he's talking about. That's what I assumed this was. Now I'm starting to learn that maybe this is real. I don't know if I don't want to claim it's real yet, but maybe it's got some plausibility of it being real. It's not real. Oh, well, you think, oh, you don't know either. You're wondering too. Yeah. Like, I think this could be real, bro. What the hell? Oh man, hold on. Whoa. This changes things.
They are your religious beliefs, and I stand by your right to believe what you want. I don't know why you are not willing to allow me to take care of my body. Why are you so obsessed with what I do with my body?
Well, okay, if no one should have a say in your decision to get an abortion, then if the man that you slept with wants you to get an abortion, but you decide to keep it, then he shouldn't be forced to pay child support.
I agree.
Are you okay with that?
Wholeheartedly agree. You know what? This is a first. I think what they did was they had to turn it off, but like this is a first. Like they don't have nothing to say. Oh man, I like this guy. I don't know who he is. I don't know if this is real, but I'm subscribing. I'm here for it. Oh my gosh. I'm all for that. I am of the opinion that, I agree. It's like your body, your choice, your right, all that, all that. However, if I was like, I don't want the kid, and I'm like, you should get an abortion, you're like, oh, my body, okay, all right, my money, what I've come to realize over time is that a lot of them, they're just trying to trap men. That's really it. They don't even care about the kid. They're just trying to trap the man. And our family court system is disgustingly corrupt. And I mean, shit, we're starting to see it in the birth numbers. We see marriage rates declining. We see divorce rates going up. We see the birth rate is record lows. This is how you destroy a society. Like we're literally committing societal suicide in this country. Why? Well, if you say the reason why, then maybe you get counseled. Maybe I'll get counseled. I don't know. Maybe that'll be a point of pride for me. It seems like only the best people get counseled. The people who actually got out here doing shit. Who is this? Is somebody gonna join? No. LA City Council members have removed no U-turn traffic. Yeah, I saw that. That was dumb. What's his name? His name is here. Let me share it. My bad. How about instead of me sharing that, let me share the video that I just watched. Also, I need to give it a like. And what is this bullshit? I don't give a fuck. Is it not so? Is it not long enough? There we go. All right, it took it. I guess 2 words wasn't enough, so I gave it 3. All right, telling me this shit like I give a fuck. All right, so yeah, we're gonna share this. Oh, it's not real? Okay, all right, it's not real. I've seen the View enough to know the guest they book. I mean, they have booked some guests that and they just argue them down. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Maybe. Let's see.
You endorsed Joe Biden back in 2020.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I think it's fake. It has to be fake. It has to be fake. Hold on. Wait. I don't believe this. The View, Damon Imani. TV panelists criticize Joe Biden. No. All right, yeah. All right, I'm gonna agree with you, bro. I think this is fake. It can't be real. This can't be real. If it were, I think this would be all over the news. Unless, actually, nah, I take that back. It wouldn't be all over the news. There's an agenda to push these days. Have y'all seen the new Star Wars? I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'm not saying I even watch it. I won't watch it. But have y'all been hearing about all of the crap from that show? All right, anyway, let's listen to this. See what.
Just to know from a men's perspective, are y'all waiting on girls to talk to you first?
All right, I'm asking that to y'all. I know who my audience is. All of y'all are men. All right, at least that's what YouTube thinks. Maybe y'all don't identify as that, but let me know. Put your pronouns if you want. But for those of you who are guys and identify as a guy, and you have, I don't even know what a guy. What's a guy? What is a guy? What is a man? I don't even know what a man is anymore. Anyway, are y'all waiting for girls to come up to you by any chance? Because I've been seeing a lot of content, and I don't know how true this is, right? So a lot of this is going to be me asking, are these things true? Because I don't know. I don't experience any of these problems that a lot of these people are talking about in the modern dating scene. I just don't experience it. So I don't know if they are, making a mountain out of a molehill, or if it's social media and the algorithm just, because I just have stuff playing on TV. I wonder if it's just showing me all this kind of stuff and it's making me think that this is really the case. Although I do know people in the real world who have said these things, but I just want to know how pervasive is it? Is this actually a thing? But yeah, I'm just curious, based on her question, are men waiting for women to say something first? And she's saying that's crazy. I'm just curious, is that true? I do wait on women to talk. All right, why is that? Why do you wait on women to talk?
Like, are you waiting on a girl to ask you on a date first? Because that's crazy to me.
Women need to start making the first move. If anyone wants
My question though, back to these people, I know they'll probably never see me. If I had two of the same chromosomes, I'm pretty sure I would have 10 to 100x the views that I get now. But why do they all think that we're all concerned about dating them? That's my question. Like, it's almost as if they think that we're over here just thinking about them. Like in reality, I'm only talking about them because I need views and content. Like that's their value to me. It gives me a reason to be on this stream talking shit. That's literally it. So I've just noticed it that they're always online talking about, guys. It's just like, well, all my life I grew up hearing that we don't need men. That's what I grew up hearing. And I was like, okay, that goes both ways. I was a special child growing up. And I don't mean special and I'm a dumb kind of special. I mean the opposite. So I was a special child growing up. So I would hear the stupid things that even the older adults in my family would say, and I would call it out. It's like, I'll give just one counter example. It's like, it didn't take much effort there. Oh, you just think, it's like, actually, no, I don't think. It's just, it comes naturally. It's just, you said something stupid. It was immediately obvious that it was stupid. And I came up with a counter example within a few brain cycles. So it seems like it's the same thing. All right, let's see here. Well, I mean, like choosing signs. Choosing signs. I don't know what that means. Well, I mean, like choosing signs. I don't know what that means, but elaborate at some point when you get a chance.
to be in a relationship, that's absolutely what has to happen. It just has to happen.
Why men have given up on women.
If women made the first move, there would be more marriages and less complaints.
You may feel like
I forgot. I have to. I don't know. I feel weird liking this because technically I'm gonna like it just to support, but god dang it. I know that YouTube is going to think that I actually want to see this shit. In reality, I don't. The things that I actually want to watch, well, it's obvious if you ever watch my streams long enough, you'll always see like the same guy just talking, like Lex. I think it's Lex Friedman. You just see him. Like, I just watch those. Ever since Joe Rogan decided to go to Spotify, I'm like, I'm not going to use Spotify. The hell, I have Spotify, but I'm not. I refuse to use it for that. In fact, I'm about to cancel Spotify. In general, but yeah, I watch Lex because he has like very highly intellectual conversations with people who I actually follow, like who I actually respect. Not just celebrities and just people who don't matter to me. I'm sorry if they matter to you, but most of these people don't matter to me. If you're not out here contributing to the field, pushing it forward, then it's just like I don't really have much room. I don't have much appetite or reason to care, right? So, yeah, I'll like it though, just because that's part of what I'm doing. Like when I watch these things, I have to like it, so I guess I'll keep doing it.
Sure that men never pursue you could be this one perspective shift.
Guys are scared to talk to girls now, even if they see someone. They
scared to talk to girls.
Men are no longer obsessed with women anymore, and she's so right.
Men have just given women exactly what they wanted. There's no going back. Kindly subscribe to the channel, as it is our sole form of support. Thank you.
Man, I gave the
like.
That's
secondary
it.
option, but you expect his loyalty. That man is going to be gone. But the crazy thing is that you're going to think that he played you, but he didn't, because he just instantly lost attraction.
Guys are scared to talk to girls now. Even if they see someone, they might not want to approach you. Like I'm
gonna say something super controversial, and you do not have to agree with it. But first and foremost, men don't go up to women anymore because you guys call them pervy, weirdo, and all this stuff, and you guys scream at the top of your lungs you hate men. So if men aren't approaching you, I can see why. Another thing, I also believe it's the way that you present yourself and how you carry yourself. A lot of you women in real life are really bitchy. I've seen you guys. You have like a
She said it, not
stick
me.
up your ass. The way that you guys look, the way that you act.
It's not a stick. It's that other thing. Suppositories, you know. Get the fiber up, you know. Get you the suppository. Make sure you get it out.
And the way that you carry yourselves. I get approached 24/7 to the point where sometimes it's a little bit too much, even at the gym. But I also think it's because I'm always smiling and I'm very bubbly. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the hottest because I'm not. But I'm sorry. I
think she gets it. She gets it. You don't have to be that, like, you know. I think most guys, at least most of the, you know, the better guys, we understand that looks fade. So it's like most of the time you're not being selected solely on your looks. That's literally just the thing that gets you through the door. But even that can be overcome. Seriously. Especially for, you know, I'm not talking about those superficial guys. I know there are a few of those out there, but they're not the majority. I think most people are okay with giving up on looks to some degree if the attitude and the personality and all of the other things, you know, that could come along with it, like, you know, are they supportive? Do they know how to cook or clean? Or do they know how to, like, help you with whatever, like, if they're useful, right? Like, looks can be overcome quite easily, at least in my opinion. You know, maybe, you know, we all have different preferences. For me, there's certain things where I'm just like, you know what? I don't care that much, right? I know guys who are just like, they need somebody with a big butt and a big front side. I'm just like, I don't care, you know, dead ass. I don't really care. And all of my experience, 'cause I grew up, you know, with people like me, right? I grew up with people like me. Most of them have a big butt, but their attitude is stink. So overall, their whole, like, they don't attract me because it's like, you have a badass attitude. So she gets it. She's like, nah, y'all just out here capping, because if you were smiling more, you would be approached, you know? Just dead ass. Like the girl at the Thai restaurant. And she giving me my food, like my pickup, she's smiling, she's so happy to see me. She's like, oh, thank you for your order, and I hope to see you again. All these things. It's like, of course I'm gonna be nice to her, and I'm gonna treat her with respect and like smile back, like all these things. Of course I'm gonna do that, because look at how she's behaving, right? A lot of times we match reality, or at least that's what I do. I match energy. So if, you know, you come at me a certain kind of way, or if you come at other people a certain kind of way, I might come at you that same kind of way. If you don't believe me, you can go look through all my, go look through my comments. And the ones that I respond to, the ones where people are attacking someone else, or if they want to, you know, try to think that I'm like a regular person, they're going to attack me. It's like, nah, bro, you're going to find out. I'm not one of them. I'm not one of them. I'm not like them. It's not every day you get someone like me out here on the internet. It's like, no, I'm happy to talk shit. I grew up where that's what we do for sport. We call it chop sessions. That's the whole point. You get a big group of people together at the cafeteria or outside at the basketball court or in the field or in the locker room, and you just chop one another up. It's basically talking shit, you know? So I grew up in that kind of environment. So, you know, I'm used to wielding words and tearing people down. I can also build people up. And I understand that's what makes me a dangerous man, because I can do both. You know, just as easy I can build someone up, I can tear them down. And I know that, so I try to avoid that. I only reserve it for the people who want to do that to other people, right? So if you're someone and you think you're going to go bully someone else, it's like, you might find out that that you're not the best bully, you know? And I'm happy to show it to you. Anyway, let's keep going.
Approached by dudes when girls say, oh, men don't approach us and they're scared of this and that. Probably scared of you, and probably don't want you, because I get approached 24/7. I don't struggle with that one bit.
I just need to know from a men's perspective, are y'all waiting on girls to talk to you first? Like, are you waiting on a girl to ask you on a date first? Because that...
I will answer her question directly. The answer is no. And in fact, I would appreciate to be left alone. Deadass. I am not waiting on anyone to approach me. In fact, I haven't even been thinking about them. I'm actually thinking about how I'm going to get to my $40 million. And he's over here worried about, like, are guys worried about girls? In my opinion, the only guys who are worried about girls are the ones who ain't got shit else to worry about. Straight up. Like, if you got actual shit going on and you actually out here getting the bag and, you're growing and you're building and increasing your responsibility, chances are you're not worried about a female. Those tend to just come. At least that's been my experiences. And in fact, I've turned down people now. I don't even want to deal with them. I've recognized that it's just distraction. Most of the time, it's just a distraction. And I'm very fortunate that I learned discipline, where I can spot a distraction and say, you know what, that's not going to lead me to my goal. So let me, just do a little bit of stiff arm like that, get them out the way and keep going towards my goal, which is more important. Straight up. It's just more important. Fortunately for me, I have the ability to have kids whenever I want. I can have kids now at 40, at 50, at 60, at 70, even at 80 if I'm still here. So for me, it's not really that much of a rush. And I can also do the same things they can do. I can go and get me a donor and have me a little test tube baby, have someone else carry them to term. Now I have my own kid and I don't have to worry about, going to family court, being sued for child support, having my kid weaponized against me. I don't have to worry about any of that. Of course, this is only something that you can do if you build up, the funds in order to do it. But this is why it's maybe important to get rid of distractions in your life until you get your life together so that you can do things and live life on your own terms. And that's what's interesting to me is that, all these people, they're saying, oh, I want a high value person, but a high value person is living on their own terms. They're not looking for external validation. So it's a little bit harder to keep someone or even to attract someone like me. Like you really have to be like something. And I've experienced a lot of people and none of them were really, there was only one who I wanted to marry, but all the other ones, I'm just like, not really that, you're not that person.
That's crazy to me. Like when you're out in public and you're making eyes with a girl and you're like making it known that you're attracted to her, but you're not gonna say something. How are you not gonna say something? Where are the huevos? Where are the huevos these days? I feel like there's so many like times that guys want to say something to girls and they don't. Like, is there a guy watching this that can give us some insight? Like, why don't you just do it?
The why I don't do it is because I have nothing to gain. That's just a simple thing. I have nothing to gain. So I don't. In every relationship that I've had, it cost me money. It cost me time. It cost me energy. Right? It cost me. So why would I go out of my way to bring on a burden into my life? Another one. Like I already have enough, as it is. So yeah. Hopefully, I don't know. I know she'll never see this. And even if she did, she'll probably say, oh, I'm just insecure. Or, I'm intimidated, whatever coping language they need to use to make themselves feel better about it. But I'm not out here out chasing.
Why don't you just do it? Are you scared? Are you waiting for her to say something first? I like my man to be assertive and dominant. If you want to say something to me, say something to me. I'll give you the opportunity. I'll put my phone down. I'll drop the handkerchief. But I'm not going to do it first. Should that not just be like the standard? Am I tripping? Like, tell me.
I love how she's like the man that I like. I wonder if she has the man that she likes. It's kind of interesting to me when you're not getting the results that you want, you don't change your approach. You continue to say what you will and what you won't do. The only times where you should be able to do that, and I'm not saying that you should be able to, the only times where I think it's acceptable to continue, on a path that isn't giving you the results is if you are okay with that and you're not complaining about your results. So, for instance, like for me, like I choose not to go out and do anything, but I don't complain about it. It's because it's my choice. If I wanted to go out and do something, like I would go and do it. And yeah, all the things that come along with going out and doing all those types of things. So this idea that it's It's just weird. I wonder if she's getting the results that she wants with what she's saying.
If I'm tripping, let me know.
Really just a stupid question.
Okay.
I think current culture...
By the way, I haven't watched this, but I haven't actually watched this. I wasn't expecting this. Okay. Really? Okay.
It's basically guaranteed that normal men aren't approaching women. Being rejected as a guy is something we just get used to over time. It gets to the point where we don't even try anymore because the outcome is always the same. Not trying to get embarrassed over trying to spark a conversation or have their friends talking in their ear, or get called a creep, or ghosted, or
have any of you ever been called a creep? I've never been called a creep. The only thing I've gotten is like ghosting and flakiness, but that's with most of them in general. And like I let it happen a couple times, and after that, it's just immediate cutoff, straight up ignore. Like I'm a better ghost. I'm very competitive. So it's like, if you ghost me, I'm like, well, I will be a better ghost. My ghosts last for years. Like I mean, I would bring up conversations, but no, I don't want to link up names. But it's like, I ghost for years. I don't come back.
someone that sees themselves as
only
a
ghosted
prize, rather than just
yeah, it's ghosting and flakiness for me.
Before I got in,
honestly, there used to be so with my the one who I was trying to marry, like she would be late for certain things, or a lot often. And I recognize it's just poor planning in general. It's just poor planning. But that being said, if anybody were to be late or to flake out, it's immediate ghost for me. Like, and I say ghost, I mean I am the ghost. I become a ghost. It's just like no. I don't really play that. My time is not to be wasted. Straight up. Like, and I'll tell people that too. It's just like, I know what my time is worth. And for the most part, every female who I've been with, if you were to compare what our times are worth, mine is generally an order of magnitude more. And I'm just saying, if you were to just say income for the year divided by how many hours in a year, my time is worth more.
Relationship, I think the fear of making someone uncomfortable by approaching them in public settings because of social media. Some men are just tired of the games and probably do want you, but they probably think all the bullshit they went through from past relationships, that we just prefer peace.
I do prefer peace. It's nice. Once you build peace in your life, you don't want to throw it away. And I don't know if any of you have built peace within your life or within yourself yet, but it does take time. It takes energy and it takes discipline to maintain it. It's not something that once you build it, it's just, oh, you have it and it's just always going to be there. You have to actively maintain it. And you also got to work on yourself to the point where you don't let things affect you, So, there's always going to be stressors going on in your environment. And there are always going to be people, pushing and chiding you and trying to make you feel a certain kind of way. But once you build that peace, you should remember what your life was like before that peace. And you should also understand what it took for you to build that peace. And you won't really take it for granted. And you probably won't want to give that up. And it comes with age, right? It's not something that you just, you're just born with. I mean, you may have a demeanor for it, where like I think I had a very good demeanor for just being at peace in general. But that's not to say that I was at peace. I built peace. I didn't build that until like 3 or 4 years ago. And now that I'm at peace, it's like, why would I throw that away? Why would I ruin that when it's taken me all of these years of like pain, hardship, adversity, all these things to finally get to a point where it's like, all right, I am okay with I've accomplished things. I'm proud of my accomplishments. I have even though I'm not really career oriented or career minded, somehow I have a decent career. Even though I didn't really, it's like, man, it's kind of weird. Like, it just seems like I got lucky. That's kind of how I feel. Where, I managed to make a bit of money and Like that helped. I managed to go out and travel and meet a bunch of different people with different perspectives, get different ways of living, and like, so that helped. So all of these things have culminated into this piece that I have. And I got to say, I'm not out here thinking about, oh, how can I like bring in, like, no, I'm not, no.
Watching it just means the single life is peaceful and they would like to keep it.
How old are you, Casual? You're not that old, are you?
If a man has to approach a woman, the feelings has got to be mutual.
I would be 100% in favor of women initiating, but the fact of the matter is that women don't have to, and women, quite frankly, don't. If a woman goes to a bar or club, at least one guy, a couple guys are going to hit on her. If a guy goes to a bar or club, just goes in the corner, right? Nobody's going to talk to him the entire fucking night. He's going to
I love that smirk. She know. She know that smirk. She probably seen guys in a bar and just ignore them. I don't go to bars, so again, I'm saying, like, these are not problems that I experience. I'm an introvert. I actually like being at home alone. Dead ass. If I'm out with with people and it's for too long, I will go weeks without going out and talk. Like, I just don't want to deal with it. Oh, you lost your 20s to a disease? You know what? The thing about adversity is that it builds character, right? So yeah, you had a disease in your 20s and now you're probably in your 30s, but you've dealt with actual shit already. So in the future, when you deal with other shit, like let's say you end up going into business, or entrepreneurship, business, that kind of thing. Or if you go into a very stressful career, let's say you want to become a lawyer, or you go into engineering or something like that, a doctor, like, because you've gone through difficulty and adversity, new encounters seem a lot easier. I had a woman ask me, like, what was the most difficult or like the most challenging thing with my job? I was just like, there's nothing challenging about it. And the reason why is because I have a frame of reference of what all of the things that I had to do in the past. And I also, even though I didn't go through it myself, I grew up learning or talking to my grandpa about what he had to do, like pick cotton in Texas in the summer as a kid, stuff like that. So, I'm very well aware that whatever I think my problems are, I understand that there's probably someone who has it much worse than me. And I think that's been really, really good for me. It helps you keep perspective, right? Like, you may be going through something. And I'm not saying that what you went through is not that big of a deal. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that, you are here, and, everyone goes through something, right? I mean, we all go through shit. But the fact that, you're able to be here and talk about it, that's actually a good thing. Some people, have it worse. And I'm not just saying here, but I'm talking about in the world. That's one thing that was very clear to me my first time going to Africa. I ended up going to a country called Equatorial Guinea. I didn't know anything about it back then. I know it left an impression, though. That was the first time I saw actual poverty. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the poverty that I thought I grew up in here in America. I mean, like, they don't have running water. They don't have roofs. Most of the houses are unfinished. They're just like open air houses kind of thing. They have to carry a bucket miles to go to some well to get water. The water's not clean. They don't have electricity. They don't have internet. Cell service is spotty and it's expensive, so regular locals can't use it. It's only the rich people who can use it. They don't have freedom of speech. They don't have freedom of movement. All these things. I was just like, I don't have to worry about malaria. I don't have to sleep with a mosquito net every night at home, but I have to do that there. And it became very clear. It's like, you know what? Poverty is more than just what you experience alone. It's what you have access to. So even though, I may have grown up in what's considered poor or poverty here in America by the technical definition, whatever that means. But even within that, like, your quality of life here is so much more better. I had libraries. We have electricity. Like when I turn on my lights, these bitches stay on, and they come on, they stay on. Like this light right here, it 300 watts of power just bathing me right now, and it's not going to turn off. Can't say that in all places. Seriously. So not lost on me. Anyway, this off topic. Let's see what they're gonna have, what they're gonna say.
They're all alone.
The reason why so many women are treating dating like a hustle and are only out for monetary gain and luxury experiences is because when situationships became a thing, that really dehumanized dating and it became an emotionally unfulfilling experience.
So help me understand, what's a situationship? I've been hearing that a lot lately. What's a situationship? Or you know what? How about I can Google it too. I'll Google it and see if we can figure out what situationship. A romantic or a sexual relationship that is not considered to be formal or established. Oh, so that's just whoring yourself out. Okay. That's what I called it back in the day. So that's when you just go out and you don't know people, you're doing one night stands, is that a situationship? Why are they obfuscating like this word? Now, why do we have this new word for what was essentially one night stands and whoring yourself out? Or, oh, never mind. Hold on. No, never mind. Maybe this isn't, this is the Oxford Language Dictionary, but there's also what Reddit says. Let's see what Reddit says. Where one person wants a relationship, but the other person doesn't, and they're having sex with each other. Okay. Okay, I guess. Wait, does that, okay. I'm trying to reason. All right, so is that, who does that? Who's doing that? I don't know who's doing that. That's weird though.
For women. So if you're going to waste my time, I might as well gain something. Thank you.
The rise of feminine men has led to masculine women.
Wait, the rise of feminine men have led to masculine women. I have a problem with that statement just because I understand how people are raised. Isn't it generally women who raise the children? Or I don't know, maybe that's just in my case. I had a single mom, so like I was raised by a woman. Most of my friends were raised by a woman. My siblings were raised by women. I have a mixed family. I don't understand this. So it's like, who raised this man, this feminine man? That's my question. It's like, how do you get a feminine man if you don't raise a feminine man? Like, a man is first a boy or baby, if you want to be, baby boy. They're first a boy, and then over time, after years of raising, 18, 20, 25 years. After about 25 years, then they are an adult male, aka a man. So my question is like, one has to come before the other. Is it more feminine men have given rise to more masculine women, or is it the opposite, where it's like more masculine men have made it such that there are more feminine men? I don't know if y'all remember the participation trophy era. Everyone has to get a prize. Like, who wanted that? It's like, with all these things that people say they want, there's this saying that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And this is one of them, where it's like, you know what, when you give everybody an award and you make it so that nobody has to struggle or go through adversity, and that there's no actual ranking, and then yeah, that's what happens. We have a bunch of guys who think we're all equal. So yeah, like, why? Like, isn't that what you wanted? I thought that was the goal, was to remove men from power and then replace it with women. At least that's what I thought feminism was. So it seems like it's working, and I don't understand what they're complaining about. I would say if I were getting the thing that I asked for, I would like to say that I would accept it. In fact, I have done that. I've gotten everything that I've asked for, and it came with bad things. Not all of it was good things. So I wasn't like, oh, I didn't want to accept it. It's like, well, shit, like this is what I said I wanted. You know, I don't know it came with all these other, you know, side things and all this other shit, but it's like I did get what I want, so I can't complain. Maybe I can. I just choose not to.
When men don't approach women in public places like coffee shops, it forces women to drop into one of two roles. The first role is she's just gonna sit there and she's going to succumb to her singledom because she doesn't want to be the man and approach you if she thinks you may potentially be interested in her.
Wait, how is that my problem? She said, oh, it's gonna result. It's like, okay, so what? She is going to be single. Okay, how is that my problem? I've noticed that there's been a lot of. It seems like I thought we were decentering men. That's what I remember hearing when I was younger. We need to decenter men. So it's like, okay, let's decenter us. Let's stop looking at men. Let's stop saying, oh man, look at yourselves. You know, like, you know, just focus on you. It's okay. Be single. It's fine. Like, I don't know. Am I supposed to like shed a tear? I don't know. Wait, where's my sad violin? I need my sad. I don't know. I don't have my sad violin. All right. Dang it. I don't know where my sad violin is, but maybe I'll spend some time updating my, what do you call this thing? What do you call it? Oh, I found it. Let's play it.
The second role is her stepping into the role that the guy is usually supposed to. Her asking you out. And this is definitely happening more. I see more women asking out
That's
more
good.
men than ever before in my friend groups and clients.
You want to know something crazy though? I'm willing to wager that if you were to go out and ask a guy out, he wouldn't reject you the same way that you would reject a guy. He's not gonna call you out your name. He's not gonna try to embarrass you. He's probably not gonna shame or insult you. And I mean, if anything, he'll probably be nice and cordial, even if they don't want you. Like even me. Like if you come up to me, I'm not gonna curse you out or do anything. I'm just be like, nah. I'm like, thank you. I'm flattered. Give you all of the word salad that you want, and then be like, no, I'm good. Like it's not that hard. I don't understand. Like, what is this idea that I always hear this, oh, we're not in the 50s anymore. But then they say, oh, we want guys to come up. But it's like, wait, no. It don't work that way. You don't want traditional gender roles, remember? That's what that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you don't want traditional gender roles. Now, if you don't want traditional gender roles and you think that, no, this is now the 21st century and that we should be free from the shackles of the patriarchy and all this oppression from all of these rules that our society has placed on us, even though it's given us everything that we have, we want to dump that. So it's like, okay, well, fine. Let's dump the traditional the traditional roles in gender then. All right. I can be a man, I can be a woman, I can be black, I can be white, I can be whatever I want. So it's like, now that we can be whatever we want, accept it, like enjoy it, right? Like, go and ask a guy out because we don't have traditional gender roles anymore. That's what you wanted. At least that's what it seems like, what I was hearing that they wanted. Anybody disagree? Like, is it just me? Maybe I'm talking to myself. I do that a lot. Don't worry. I realize that, sometimes I got to talk to myself a little bit. And then one day, I'll get to the bag. And then people actually want to talk, and I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll listen by then. We'll see.
Etc. But the thing is, men, that women don't want to ask you out because courtship and approaching are typically things that
No. See, that's the problem. You don't get to pick and choose the traditional gender roles that are applied. You don't get to say, oh, you can't expect me to want to cook and clean and have kids and to, support you and do all these things. And then you still have to do your tradition. No, it don't work that way. Nah. The only person who's getting traditional gender role out of me is someone who's going to fit into their traditional gender role. It sounds like there's this idea that, you know, these modern folks, they want someone who is traditional, but they themselves aren't traditional. It's just like, which is fine. I want to make that clear. It's okay if you're not a traditional person. Seriously, it's okay. But here's the thing. If a traditional person wants a traditional person, that's what they want. It's their preference. You don't get to complain and say, oh, no, they should want me. It doesn't work that way, right? Like, you don't want to uphold your traditional role. So it's like, well, the people who want traditional partners or spouses, I don't really like partners because it's not really what it is. Like, the people who want a traditional significant other, why would they look to someone who's not traditional? That just doesn't make sense. For instance, here is one thing, and here's one thing that I would never accept. Any female that has an online presence, like who's putting out videos on TikTok or on YouTube or on Instagram, they have pictures out there, they have videos, they are disqualified for me, from my life in general. I mean, they're fine. They're for recreational, you know, friends. Yeah, sure. Friends. In my reality, I've never had female friends. No, they're more, unless they're older. Like, unless they're older and it's from work or something like that. Those are the only ones. Generally, yeah, older. And when I say older, I mean like older than me. Much older than me, like 40, 50, that kind of thing. In that situation, sure. But no. Maybe if they're younger, like if they're young, but it's not even a friendship like that. It's more like, I don't know. It's not even a friendship. It's more like, oh, well, here's this person. I help them every now and again kind of thing. It's not even like, yeah, actually, yeah, I don't even talk to, yeah, never mind. I was about to say, I don't even talk to people. And like, my friends who are females, it's like, if they don't text me and ask me a specific question and it's not a problem, I'm not going out of my way to, you know, how are you doing? I don't give a shit. Like, let me know when you have a problem. And then if I feel like it, I might help you. That's kind of where I'm at.
And the worst thing that you can do as a guy is force a woman to act like a man.
So we'll mutually walk away and stay single. Problem solved. Good day, man.
All right, so I love how, like, I'm over here saying these things and then they'll show a comment of someone basically saying the same thing. That's actually kind of funny. Well, so I don't know. When I say friend, I really mean a friendly acquaintance. I don't really mean friends. I have a very high bar for friendship. If you can't help me solve my problems, then we're not friends. Right? Like, if you're not someone who, if I'm going through something, I can lean on you for anything, we're not friends. We're just acquaintances. Now, no, there's a level above regular acquaintance, for me at least. You know, there's friendly acquaintance. You know, there's people who I'm familiar with, you know, I'm nice and cordial, that kind of thing. But I'm not like out here trying to, like, you know, give advice or talk or like hang out. No. Now, with a friendly acquaintance, sure, yeah, I'll hang out every now and again. It's like, I'll pick up the phone if they call me, you know, I'll talk to them for a little bit. You know, and maybe over time, and I'm not even saying that, you know, you can't become a friend. Like, I kind of am no new friends, but not like, I'm not really. To me, it's kind of silly. But I do have a bar, and a lot of times it requires something called loyalty, which, you know, for some people that's a struggle. Loyalty, and that's something that's developed over time. So, you know, I've had friendly acquaintances, or I mean, I guess they were acquaintances, and then they became friendly acquaintances, and then they became friends, and now they're like, you know, friends. And for the most part, my friends are, at least in my opinion, they're my goal is lifelong. I don't really have this idea, oh, we're going to be friends for a little bit. A lot of my friends, they've been around for a decade or longer at this point. Some of my oldest friends, 20 years at this point. So it's like, you know, I have levels, you know, friendly acquaintance, you know, most people are there. And that's not to say that, you know, that's a bad place to be. To be honest, it feels like strong friendship to most people because they've never experienced someone like me who actually pours into them. Right? Like, I have a lot of energy and I have a lot to offer people. So a lot of times they'll feel like, oh, like, you know, he's my best friend. It's like, I mean, maybe we're in a situationship. It's not to say that, I don't like the people. It's just, I have a different bar for what becomes a friend. And, if you're a friend, effectively, you're very close to family at that point. Like, I'll do the same things I'll do for my family for the most part. If you're like, hey, last minute, and I'm out here doing something, let's say I'm streaming, and one of my friends he hits me up. He's like, hey, can you come get me from the airport? What I would do is say, yeah, what time you need me to be there? That's it. It's like, sure, yeah, I'll go do that. Or, you could live in another place. Hey, like, I need help with this. I'll fly out there. I'm that kind of person. So for me, that's why I have to have such a high bar, because I'm willing to go very far for my friends. So I need to make sure it's worth my time. It's just self-protection. I got to protect that peace that I built.
We were told to not approach women, that we're creeps if we do. It's the job of gentlemen to court. That's what she say, and it's true. However, a gentleman needs a lady to court, and genuine ladies have nearly gone extinct. By and large,
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's true. And I'm saying I don't know. I'm not saying that I disagree. Right? I'm just saying I don't know, and I'm not going to trust their word for it, because I do know that, especially in comments, especially like from certain dudes, they tend to have they can get a little bit too negative, too cynical, and just they'll be like, everyone's like this, and it's like, you lose me, especially when you say any, and like if you say all or every or never, you use these words that it's like I can't even not argue it at that point. It's just something goes off in my brain where it's like, that's not true. Like, that's not true. There are definitely very, very, very nice women out there. But I think it kind of goes both ways, maybe. Or I don't know. Maybe I haven't experienced enough. So I don't want to say that's not the case. But what I can say is that I do know for a fact that there are girls who are overlooked. I know that for a fact. I actually know some girls who they're incredible. Like, they're, a guy would be lucky to have them by their side. They're nice and supportive. They do all of the things that these people say they want. But, if you were to just be walking out in a mall or at a bookstore, wherever you're at, you probably wouldn't notice them, because they're not doing the things that, all these heathens out here doing. They're kind of low key. They're not dressing in revealing manner. They're not really, they're kind of homebodies, like, they exist. I think it's kind of the same thing where and they just get ignored. Why? Well, maybe they don't look, maybe they're not like the 8 or a 9, maybe they're like a 6 or a 7, but I'm like, that's fine. Most people are average anyways, which is, something that I think guys understand for themselves. I don't know. I think that I don't think that what he's saying is true. That's what I'm getting at.
It's that there are too few ladies worthy of that kind of effort. We don't want to end up online as a creep coming up to you, so we stop chasing.
I've just discovered the reason why it's so hard to find a good guy dating in 2023. And it's not because there aren't any left and all men are disgusting and all men are trash. That is completely false, no matter what you hear from other girls on TikTok.
So this, if more people came online, like, I can't even disagree with her, right? Like, what she's saying is, even if I wanted to disagree, I can't disagree with it, because she's just speaking logically. It's like, yeah, like, not everybody's like that. So already, like, I'm more willing to listen. And I guarantee you, if more girls and guys did the same thing, maybe they would get further. Communication that's a two-party type of thing. You can't talk at someone. I can talk. I'm talking at you, obviously. But like, for general, if you want to get somewhere with a person and you want to move a relationship forward, I'm not just talking about romantic relationships. I'm talking about any relationship. If you want to move that relationship forward, well, you have to actually communicate. Right? Like, you have to not only like think about what it is you want to say, but also how to package it to get it to that other person so that they are receptive to it. And then you got to check that they perceived it the way that you intended it to be perceived. Right? Like, you just, you can ask clarifying questions. You can say, oh, you understand. You can ask all kinds of things to see, are y'all on the same page, and vice versa. Like, you got to listen, and you got to listen with in good faith, right? Like, not everybody's very good with their words all the time. So maybe, somebody's going to say something which you may not be the most pleasant thing to say, but it's like, well, you can take that in two ways. You could take that as they're trying to hurt you and harm you and they're trying to talk down, or you could just be like, you know what, like, good faith. They're making something in good faith. Let me attempt to understand it from their perspective. There are all kinds of things that, you could do, but that requires maturity on two people. And, having two people be mature is a much lower probability than just having one person be mature. Just due to how probabilities work. Like, they multiply, so it gets smaller. Anyway.
The truth is that the good guys are done with dating. They would rather be single and have their peace than be in a relationship
She gets it.
and not be treated correctly. They're done playing the games, okay? Girls not being monogamous, them not texting them back, them giving them mixed signals, them opening up and sharing their feelings, and then a girl breaking up with them. They don't want to deal with that. They'd rather work a lot, go home, play some video games, watch a movie, and spend time with their dog or themselves than ever have to deal with women.
So she gets it. She actually said peace, which is what I was saying earlier. Which is like, no, I built my peace. Why the hell would I try to mess that up? And what's crazy is that I do have a dog, but you got to give me, like, I didn't go out and find the dog. I wasn't like, oh, I need a dog. That wasn't the case. It wasn't like them where they're like, oh, let me go find something to take care of because I don't have my own kid to take care of. This was very much the girl I was trying to marry at the time and my mother. They wanted, like, the dog showed up and my mom fed it and kept showing up. And then they were like, oh, we keep it. And I was just like, sure. Right. In my mind, I'm just like, yeah, I'll pay for it and all that. So long as I don't have to do that much. And it turned into me having to do a lot. Now, like, I have this dude full time. I have to fucking God and pick up shit 2 or 3 times a day. Have to go to the pet store. Honestly, like, the only reason why I leave my house as much as I do is because of that dog. I got to take him out, walk him for like 2 or 3 miles every day. His food, every time I go to the pet store, it's like $250. Got to take him to the vet, pay his insurance, all these things I got to do. It's just, oh my gosh. I don't understand why people go out of their way to get a dog or any kind of pet. I don't get it. But, I have this thing where I am, because I'm a man, obviously I'm responsible and I'm accountable, even to other people's fuck ups and mistakes. I guess it's my fault, right? At the end of the day, it's always the man's fault. So I guess it was my fault for saying, yes, we can have this dog. And yes, I will pay for everything. And yeah, it's my fault, I guess. I accept it though. It's fine.
I just want to know which one of you ladies messed it up for everyone, because dating out here is so hard.
Women need to start making the first move. If anyone wants to be in a relationship, that's absolutely what has to happen. It just has to happen. Guys in the comments, back me up on this.
Wait, hold on. You said it works, but you can't log in? What do you mean? I thought you just clicked the link in your email and it'll log you in, right? Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And if you're in the Slack, just message me there about that.
We have told
Slack
men for years that their masculinity is toxic. Some men, as they got interested in dating, that's literally
You gotta verify your email each time because your email has a period in it, or is missing a period. All right, well, just text me, or don't send it here. Send your email. Just DM me what the email addresses should be, and I'll update it. Not now. I'll update it eventually.
they know is to stay away from women, is to not bother them, and definitely don't approach them. So there is nothing wrong with a woman approaching a man. That shows confidence. And you know what? I don't even know if this stat is true. I didn't do much research into this, but I did see that 86% of women who make the first move end up married. So, I mean, come on.
That's a very high number. That's a very high percentage. I can guarantee you, though, that percentage is only high because it is a small subset of people. I think it's selection bias, where the type of women who are more likely to do that are probably the type of women who are more likely to get married in the first place, and who are actually, you know, it seems like they have a goal in mind, and that's what they want, and they're going to go get that. They're going to, you know, they're going to align their actions to get that. So I think there is some selection bias here, but at the same time, no, maybe it is true. Although I will say, if more women did that, that number would go down. I guarantee if you come up to me being like, oh, it's like, nah, no. Marriage is off limits for me now. Like I was willing to get married to one girl. She didn't want that. So I'm just like, nah, that's off the table for me, because honestly, I never really truly wanted to get married. I was just willing to do it because I was like, well, you know, if that makes, you know, people around us feel better, you know, that you're taken care of, then sure, I'll do it for that reason. But yeah, it's like, I know what the divorce rate is, and why would I like go through that? Protect myself, you know. Even now, I'm at a point now, I don't even think I would cohabitate. Like, you know, you have to live in your own place. You know, can't keep shit here. You know, stay in your own place. Don't send any mail here. Honestly, I don't even know if I'll be paying. Like, no, you're paying on your own card, kind of thing. And that's not to say that I'm broke or cheap. I'm anything but. Like, I'll go and drop $50K on a painting, you know? So I'm not cheap. It's just, I'm not going to be, you know, blowing my money on someone else. That, you know, I've done that before, and what did I get from it? Nothing. So I won't do it again. All right, I see that you didn't. All right, so I'll update your email eventually, probably tomorrow. After I get home, I got to go to the barbershop early in the morning.
Good. I mean, I don't even care if that's not even a true statistic. Hell, let's run with that. But guys, back me up in the comments. Say, yeah, you would love that. Or women say, yeah, I made the first move, and I'm now engaged, married, whatever. I'm telling you, that's just the way it's got to be. You don't have to like it. I mean, I'm sure guys didn't like when they were being...
So I will say this. I have had 2 females try to get me to get into a relationship. Like, and no, I didn't like it. I don't like it. And it's not because, you know, I don't like a female coming and asking. It's just like, once I say no, I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear this like, oh, it's like, but what you deserve. It's like, no. Like, leave me with that. That's actually, I won't get into too much of it, but I actually had someone, they were trying to convince me that my life would be better off with them in, and I was like, I'm like, I don't think that, because I think, you know, if I didn't have all this, what I have, I don't think you'd be interested in me. You know, like, how is my life going to get better? Like, my life has improved no matter what, which tells me that I am the source of whether or not my life gets better or gets worse. And if I remove that agency from my life, then, like, you probably wouldn't want to even talk to me, because, like, I don't know, it's interesting. You know, like, it's just interesting. Why would I remove agency from my life and be like, oh, yeah, like, you're the reason my life is going to improve? Okay, yeah. Think highly of yourself.
Called, when their masculinity, when their whole being was called toxic. They didn't like that. So start making the first move. And again, you don't have to like it. You don't have to.
I agree with her. I agree with her. Even though I don't want people approaching me, all that, I do agree with her. I don't think that, you know, you can be a kind of person that says, oh, we need to do away with traditional gender roles, and then at the same time expect the other person, the gender who we know what they are, for them to adhere to their traditional gender role. No. Like, if you want to get rid of roles, then get rid of roles. And you go deal with the people who have also rejected those roles. But that's the problem, is that they don't want those people. Turns out they don't like feminine men. Who would have thought that?
Having to make the first move. You could still have a traditional relationship after that. This is just getting you in a damn relationship. And as far as, you know, not liking things, I do things every day that I don't like to do.
It's called being an adult. That's it. She's a full-grown adult. She gets it. That's what it is. Yo, what's up, Zane? How you doing?
It makes me a better person. gets me to my goals. So these are just facts, okay? Women make the first move.
I stopped dating 20 years ago. I'm done dating. Peace is well worth being.
You sell some more
Ladies
products?
don't understand.
Life is life, bro. It's for me. I don't really. It's pretty consistent these days. At least I make sure that I'm consistent. So I don't really have ups or downs as much anymore. And if they do, they're minor, right? So mostly the same as usual. Everything's still, I don't know. Things are still normal. Nothing new. I am trying to overshoot on the content goal for this month. Hence the reason why I'm doing this stream. I've also done a little bit of work, and I mean literally a little bit of work, to like have different types of streams, or at least it's kind of getting there. I don't know if you start from the beginning, not now, but if you start from the beginning of the stream, you'll notice that it has a new name. It's After Hours. And if you watch my stream from earlier today, then you'll see that that's virtual co-working. And then the devlog, I'll still be doing that, but just, whenever I feel the need to go and do something technical, which right now I don't. So After Hours will probably be, me talking about this kind of stuff. Maybe in the future I'll I'll maybe edit videos, or maybe I'll have a whole nother type of thing just for that. And the idea is so that I can create these different playlists. I already created the playlist. So I have one for virtual co-working, for devlog, and for motovlogs. I'll probably have one for cooking. And to do that, just to practice the act of putting out content, whether I feel like it or not, and all different types of content. And the idea is that if I do that long enough, then I should have a pretty decent library of videos, as well as streams, as well as potentially a diverse audience. I don't know. We'll see. And if things start to take off in certain areas, and it seems like it would be best to split it off into a separate channel, then I'll spin it off at that point. But yeah, for now, I'm just, I'm working on figuring out how I want to continue to do this, because I don't believe in doing the same thing just over and over and over again. There needs to be some growth. So, look to that in the future. It may not be fast, but it will be growth over time. Let's see. I sold even more. Oh yeah, I saw that. I'm new to ups, and I'm new to ups for the most part. Well, the thing with ups is that they necessarily come with downs, and the higher your ups, the higher your downs will be. And I had this quote that I've lived by since I was a teenager, which is, success is how high you bounce when you hit rock bottom. Yes, I remember it because it's something that this is how I've been thinking for a long time. And, it's kind of true, but at the same time, you also need to experience very, very lows so you can experience the elation of being very, very high. It's two sides of the same coin. You need both. You need to win, you need to lose. You need to gain, you need to lose in the same, but a different kind of lose, all those things. But yeah, I'm glad that you're seeing some success, and I hope you continue to see that for the time coming forward. YouTube keeps giving me strikes, so I'm taking a break from uploading. I at least don't have to worry about losing out. Never got mine today. Why are you getting strikes? Strikes for what? What are you doing? Maybe I'll give TikTok a try. Yeah. Go check out Zany. Go follow him. Let me play this right here.
First move can be subtle, but blinking isn't going to cut it. They don't necessarily have to approach, but they have to make themselves approachable by making eye contact, smiling. Even a simple hi can make it so much obvious for us to approach. First move would be nice. I'm not sure anymore. Will I get yelled at and called all kinds of names just for saying hi? I'm tired of getting played like a board game. I decided 7 to 8 months ago that I wasn't making the first move. Only one lady has asked to meet up.
So, all right. So this kind of gets into what I was saying, where I think that is selection bias. When she's like 87% of the women who ask or make the first move, whatever, they get married. I was like, this interesting statistic, but I think it suffers from selection bias, which is the type of person who's going to do it are more likely to get married in the first place. And there are not that many people doing it. So of course the percentage can be high, right? Like to have 87% of 4 people out of 5 people do something is very, very easy to achieve. However, if you scale these number ups to like 100 million, a billion, all of a sudden, you know, we start to see the law of large numbers come into effect, and we actually start to see the real thing. It will probably regress to the mean, which is, I don't know what the mean is for. I don't follow it, but that's generally what happens, right? Law of large numbers regress to the mean generally.
It gets harder to approach women. Each year it got so bad, I decided to rather just stay single for 14 years now, due to the ask to stay away or not needed.
So what's crazy is that I said that I would stay single, but yeah, that didn't happen. But to be fair to me, I didn't go out and pursue anyone. So, you know, I've had four, I think, since my split with the person I wanted to marry, and all of them I've never once was like, oh yeah, like it was very much the opposite. I'm just like, yeah, I'm good not doing anything, just like you don't even have to exist. But honestly, I kind of regret one, and what I mean by regret is like going into it because I think I hurt her because I didn't care, you know. So maybe that is it. Maybe, you know, I was just like, yeah. And the second one was like that too. I'm like, oh, no, not really. I don't know. Maybe that makes me a bad person. If so, I don't care anymore. I'm fine with that. Like, I don't have to be a good person. I don't have to be a bad person. I can be me. Right? That's the beauty of being at peace with yourself is, you know, flaws and all. It's like, yeah, I am who I am. I have my mistakes. I have all of my accomplishments. I have all of my failures. It's like, I have things I'm proud of. I have things I'm not proud of. But one thing is constant is I give zero fucks, about how anyone else feels about that. It's just like, fine.
What women fail to understand is that 83% of women that makes the first move and approach a man ends up getting married. But to be
see, I don't like that when people who don't understand statistics, and I feel confident saying that this person, not just this woman, but whoever this, I don't know if this is, it sounds like an AI thing. Whoever this person is, chances are they're not trained in statistics and they likely don't have statistical thinking. So when they keep parroting this damn percentage without, and here's the thing, if you go into grad school and you're trained in statistics, you will learn firsthand that you never give a percentage without also giving the quantity. What I mean by that, 86% of whatever he says, of what, right? Like, what is the number? Like, you can't just say of women or not. All right, well, what is that number? Because if we don't know what that total number is, like, it doesn't mean anything because you can hide a lot of information with a percentage. And I think I kind of got into that, right? Where it's like 4/5 is 80%. So if someone's like, you know, we increase, let's say you have 4 people and then the next day, 6 people come to your event. Well, your event just increased by 50%. It sounds very large, but that 50% is only 2 people. All right, this is how your politicians, all of the people who are in positions of power and leadership, this is how they get y'all. Is y'all don't understand how stats work. It's just like, you know, they'll be like, oh, we had a 80% rise or increase in whatever. It's just like, and no one asked a very simple question. Okay, well, what is that? Like, what is that meaningful? Like, what is that number? And you learn it's like 0.2. It's like, it's not that high, but it is high because, you know, when you when you look at the previous number, it was much smaller. So yeah, it's like, yeah, we've doubled. So I went from 0.1 to 0.2. We've doubled. It's the same thing, right? I don't know, maybe that's just me.
Be honest, if a woman is approaching you today, you got to be wary of her. Because some of these women today are looking for a man to take care of them because life is getting...
You know what? That is one thing that I will say. And I don't think it has much to do with, you know, my breakup. I think it had more to do with so the person I was with, I was broke and poor. Like, I was from college, right? Like, from college. I didn't have anything. In fact, there was a point in my life where I lost my job, and I had just got a car. I couldn't pay rent. I couldn't pay this, and she paid for the bills for months. So it's like that kind of was like, okay, at that point it's like, all right, this is who I am going to dedicate all of my time, effort, all this money, all this to that person. Now, when she leaves, like, a year later, I go into another social class. We'll just say that, right? I go into another social class, and now I don't look at any, like, if any woman approaches me, I don't trust them at all. Like, I'm just like, I know why they're coming. I already know it. It's like they saw me get out of a very nice car. They see the clothes that, like, I don't really wear nice clothes that often, but sometimes I do. And like, and I'm even though I'm this, like, once people hear me talking, they realize that I'm not just an average person, and I'm also very tall. I stand out in most places, so I know that they're looking for a come up. At least that's what I think. I don't know. Maybe they aren't. So I have a tendency to, like, I have zero trust in them now, because I have shit to lose. That's the thing. It's like none of these people who are coming and, like, trying to talk to me, none of them have helped me build anything. They weren't here. They didn't go through any of the shit that I went through. And they, honestly, they probably wouldn't have helped me go through any other shit that I went through. They probably would have dipped. And I know that. So I'm very unlikely to trust anyone who's coming up to me. It's like, I already have my shit together, so you can't say, oh, it's not because of that. Because, well, if it weren't for that, then you'd probably be talking to any other dude, but you're talking to me for whatever reason. And maybe that's not a good way of looking at it, but I don't care. Like, it works for me. It's kind of like with Google, right? They have this insane hiring process that it filters out a lot of people. Some of them are really good who probably could do the job. But in Google's mind, they're like, you know what? Yes, our process is going to filter out good people. But you want to know what it also does? It makes sure that we don't get anyone who's bad. Just theoretically, right? So, maybe you optimize for not the fuck ups, right? At least that's what I do. I optimize for not the fuck ups. I don't care if, like, you might be the best person on earth. It's like, I would rather be too critical and filter you out than to not be critical enough, and then you come into my life and now somehow you think you're entitled to half my shit that you didn't work for. Like, you didn't go to school for this. You weren't staying up till 2 or 3 in the morning every day for years. You didn't have to go and work 2 or 3 jobs. Like, you didn't have to do any of that. Nah, fuck that. It won't happen. You say you love statistics. If I go back to school, I'll get a master's or a PhD in stats. They won't help and probably can't help. Yeah. Stats are like, I was doing applied stats or applied mathematics. It was through the applied mathematics department, statistics. But I only was trained in statistics because I was in a machine learning program. And, machine learning is essentially statistics. It's glorified statistics. It's statistics that's been automated. And then you feed it back into itself, and you get even more statistics.
Getting tough. But truthfully, if women really wanted to get married, they have got to start approaching men. That is, unless their ego is stopping them from making the first move.
Why do pretty girls sometimes never get approached by guys?
I have an answer to this.
Yo, what's up, video changer? How you doing?
It's that they're afraid of being rejected by a pretty girl. In their minds, they think that they get approached a ton, which can be true depending on the girl. And they know that they most likely have a
we're just doing hanging out. That's it.
And she probably has a boyfriend. In their mind, of course. So majority of the times, they're like, I'm not even gonna bother. I'm not even gonna say.
We're going to get through a video today. This is my one promise. Normally, when I try to do these types of things, I don't get through a video. We're going to get through it. We're over halfway through it. Somehow I've turned a 20-minute video into, I'm here for almost 2 hours. So we're going to get through it. Don't worry. We'll get through it. Maybe we'll even do 2.
Anything to her. Another reason can be that they're intimidated by the girl, or she looks high maintenance. Like,
wait. Intimidated? I'm curious. Who's intimidated? Cause I hear that a lot. It's like, oh, they're scared. They're intimidated. I've never been intimidated by anyone smaller. Or I'll just say smaller than me. How about that? I'm gonna say the other descriptors, but I've never been intimidated by anyone who I know I can end. And just like it's like, why would I be intimidated? Okay. I don't know. Maybe y'all get intimidated. I don't know. Maybe that's not an emotion that I feel with most people.
Incorrect. What's a green flag in a guy?
If you cancel on him and he doesn't care. If you cancel on him like last minute and he's just like whatever about it.
Give me an example. How would you react?
Like he'd be like, all right, it's fine. And he'd make plans right away for the next time.
What about you?
Canceling on men as a test, you know?
Okay. The delusion. Okay. So, what she's saying is that she wants a person who don't have their life together, who has nothing else going on, who doesn't value their time. And maybe that's who she's dealing with. And my question back to her, and he didn't ask, he's not asking it right now. Let's see what he's going to ask. I don't know. I think he asked something after that.
He'd be like, all right, it's fine. And he'd make plans right away for the next time.
What about you?
Oh, he just said, what about you? Oh, he didn't even get it.
Deep voice.
So this woman is a red flag.
Okay, so he didn't even ask. Okay, or maybe he did. Never mind. I don't want to make an assumption. They're cutting the video, so I wish that they would give context, because again, right, like she said that, but maybe there's more to it. Right? Maybe there's more to it. And I don't think it's fair to, like, intellectually fair, right? Like, to just have what is essentially a soundbite and not go into the nuance. Because maybe there is more to that. You know, maybe she's talking about for a guy who she's, you know, been talking to for a while, and like they've been dating for a while, and then she did that. Just as, you know, like maybe I hate shit testing, but I want to give benefit of the doubt. I don't want to just pile on. But if she really does believe that, that is stupidity at its finest. I can say without a shadow of a doubt, she would never attract anyone like me. And when I say someone like me, I mean like me or my peer group. There's no way that you're going to waste any of our time and think that we're just going to be okay with it. Like, we may make it seem okay. Like, I'll say, okay, fine, you know, that's fine. I'll say all of those words, but it's like behind the scenes, it's like you're cut off. Ghost. I told you, I'm a very good ghost. I'm a very good ghost. I do it too. But no, my ghosting is kind of permanent. I'm just like, you know, you won't see or hear from me again.
What she's saying is that a green flag for him is that he accepts her red flags. If a woman cancels on you last minute and got you dressed up, you need to drop her. She doesn't respect you nor your time.
Yeah, that's right there. Yeah, it's not respecting your time, which means she don't respect you. Because let's say that, you know, I'm someone who's punctual. So if I tell you, you know, I'm going to be somewhere at 8 o'clock, I'm going to be there at 7:45, right? So I'm going to be there on time. And if I'm sitting there, you know, waiting, and then it's like, it comes up to that time, I actually have a rule where it's like, depending on how long the engagement is supposed to be, let's say it's going to be 2 hours. It's 120 minutes. The max that you can be late is 12 minutes. After that point, I just go. Like, I won't even say anything. I'll just go. Right. So, and this isn't for this. I don't want to make this about females. This isn't about females either. This is about anyone. You get 10% of that time that we're supposed to be meeting as grace period. Because I understand, you know, not everybody is, you know, is thoughtful or punctual, and, you know, things do happen, right? Like accidents may happen on the freeway, all kinds of things that can. So it's like, you know, you need to give it a little bit of grace. But at the same time, I think that there is also this thing called, you know, being prepared, you know, planning. So if I'm able to get somewhere 15 to 20 minutes early, well, that's not luck. That's because I decided to, you know, prepare for that and make sure I'll leave. That gives me ample time to account for any, you know, kind of traffic situations, to account for anything that I might have to go do, like if I need to go get gas, or, you know, maybe if I get lost. So it's like, I try to do that. So I think it's a reasonable expectation that if I'm going to do that, then the other person is going to do that. And when I say this, I've actually cut off former friends for that reason. Like, there are people who, you know, the only fuck up that they did is that they're not reliable. And I mean, I don't know if the person ever watching. I know if you're ever watching, it's like, you know, fuck you are. Like, that's why we're not buddies. It's like, waste my time. My time is valuable. Whether you respect your time or not, it has nothing to do with me. Like, you respect my time or you are out of my life. It's just that simple.
Ding, ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Right on the money. Right on the money.
The hell?
Thank you. Finally, a man gets it.
I am absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships. Like, men want their lives as is. They
Yeah.
want to go about their day
Yeah.
exactly as it is.
You get it.
Do whatever they would normally do and just want somebody there when it's convenient for
Honestly,
them.
I don't even want you there. Like, you could just be at home. You don't have to be with me. Like, you don't have to, honestly, you don't even have to be in my home. You could just be at your home and not exist in my mind. It's fine. Like, I don't think that they understood that a lot of men are already alone and that there are some men who prefer being alone. Like, a lot of my friends who do a lot of thinking type of thing, they tend to do that alone. And when I say thinking, I mean, like problem solving, right? Like, you're trying to work through difficult problems. Generally, you do that alone. I'm sure y'all have heard the stereotype of like nerds being in a basement in the dark at night and like they do their best work during that time. That's just real. The time when I'm most productive is at night when when no one's freaking distracted, no one's talking to me, no one's distracting me, no one's here. Like that is the most productive time ever, and I love it. I freaking love it. I actually look forward to those days. I'm like, oh man, like after I get, especially after I do like a ride or I'm hanging out with some friends or whatever, I look forward to going home and being by myself so I can like work and think about whatever problems I'm working or thinking on. But maybe I'm weird. Like I said earlier, I'm an introvert, so I actually enjoy being alone.
Or, for the things they want to do. Like, convince me I'm wrong.
In this day and age, you go out, you take a woman out, you do all these gentlemanly things, and then she ghosts you, disappears. It's a big joke. And I always tell guys, do these things, but do it for women who are going to appreciate it. Don't go out on a first date and be at the 5-star restaurant and all the fancy stuff. No, you don't do that on a first date with a woman. And if she needs you to bring the fancy on the first date, she doesn't like you.
Exactly.
See, this is why I say I haven't experienced these problems because I don't really date like that. Like, I mean, that's not to say I haven't been with people. It's like I never understood the purpose of dating. I've always understood it to be a form of entertainment. At least that's how I learned about it when I took my sociology class when I was in high school. I was taking, so in my school we had a partnership with colleges where you can certain people, it was dual credit, so you can take college courses in college, and in high school. That's what I did. So I took a sociology class, and I learned in 10th grade that that there's dating, which is effectively entertainment, and then there's courtship, which is the intention of getting married. Like, you're looking for a mate, a partner in life, a significant other. So in my life, mostly what I've done is courtship. There's been 2 girls that I've courted. All the other ones, like, maybe you would call it dating, but it's like, it's not like, we were setting up plans to go meet. Like, nah, it wasn't that. It was more like they would come off. They would come here, or it's like we're out doing some other stuff and it's just, we're already together. It's not that kind of like, oh, let's go meet up. I'm not into that. So, but like, to be clear, like I had 2 main relationships. I don't count the other 4. The 4 after. There were 2 before those, but like I don't count the 4 after. The 2 relationships that were like, one, I proposed to one, and then she decided she needed better. She's the one who has cats now, and what's kind of funny is that I remember an argument where she was basically upset because she wanted to travel, and at that time I didn't have the money to do all that kind of stuff. And she's like, I just want to travel. I just want to have fun. I deserve to do all this. And it was so crazy. And I wasn't thinking about this when I was traveling, but I reflected on it after the fact. What's crazy is that at that point in time, like, I was fine with just, chilling and watching stuff on TV. I'm like, we don't have to go. Like, we got this HD TV that I just bought. I'm like, we can watch it on the TV. Like, we don't have to go there now. We can like watch TV and like figure out what places and plan aspirational plans and all that kind of stuff. She don't want to do that. Anyway, what's kind of interesting, and talk about karma, is that She didn't get to do any kind of traveling after she left. She didn't get to do any of that. Meanwhile, like the person who didn't even want to travel, I'm like, I just watch this shit on TV. I've gone to over 50 countries. It's 53 countries at this point. And most of those countries, I'm flying business, not coach. And when I get to most of these countries, I'm staying in 5-star hotels. And I'm not staying in these countries for a couple of days. I'm staying there for months. So it's like, it's kind of crazy that, you know, she said she wanted all these things. And just a few short years later, like 6-7 years later, I'm doing those things that she says she wants to do, that she wanted to do, that she don't get to do now. So it's like, that's what you get. This is what you get. I can see why you like travel though now. Like if you're watching this, I understand why you like travel. It was actually a really dope experience. And thanks to you and others, I was able to extend my trip because I didn't have to pay for y'all. Like it's just me. And it's much cheaper with me because I don't have all these dumb things that I have to do. I don't have to go out and buy dumb shit at the mall. I can just be fine with riding the bus or getting on the MRT or a train or something, walking and just, or even a bike and just being out and just doing whatever. Not having a plan, not having to be like, oh, we have to go to a museum and we got to like figure out where to go eat. Like, no. It's very much, I just go out and whatever the hell I feel like doing, I'm gonna stop here. All right, I stop there. Have a 2-hour conversation if I want to with somebody. And then when I'm ready to leave, I go wherever. Like I don't have to have a plan and stick to it. It's amazing. So thank you for getting out of the way and allowing me to go and live your dreams. It was dope.
Trying to impress these women is a waste of time, energy, and money. If you try to impress her, someone else will try to step it up and try to impress her with something else. That's why the best thing you can be is yourself. The fancy dates are for the woman that you deem worthy of being with you. The woman that's there to uplift you and wants to grow together. That's the kind of woman you give that treatment to, not every woman you meet.
What happened to men not being afraid to come and talk to you in person? Like, I feel like I run into men all the time who will like say something to their homeboy or like say something, a compliment loud enough for me to hear, not directly.
Oh, I know what she's talking about. I know what she's talking about. I hate that. Where like I think what she's saying is that you know, you'll see like a group of guys, and instead of the guys whoever they like, they'll be talking amongst themselves and be like, oh, she bad, or they'll be like, yo, go talk to this girl for me. Like that, to me, that's like, what the hell? I don't like that. Someone's asked me to do it. I'm like, why? Like, why would no? I've done it a couple times because I'm not shy. You know, I'll be like, oh yeah, and talk to me. Oh, hit this person. And I'll be honest. That's the that's the problem if I do it. I'll be honest. I'll be like, man, they too scared to come and talk to you. I don't know why, but they want to talk to you. Like, go talk to them. You know, I'm not the best wingman. Don't ever ask me to be your wingman. I probably will ruin it for you. I apologize in advance.
I can hear it, so I can say thank you, and that's like their way of knowing if they can come and talk to me or not. And I remember when I was younger, like I could be in a group of 20 girls, and the guy would not care. He would come, part the Red Sea, and come and get my number. Like what happened to that? Where did that get lost? Did it get lost because of these dating apps? Like, I've never been on a dating app, and I will never be on one just because I just don't feel like my man is on there. I feel like my man is going to see me in person. He's not going to be afraid. He's going to come and talk to me. Right? So, like, am I doing something wrong? Or, like, is that over with? Are they just expecting us to come and talk to them? Like,
well, that's just a problem, though. I'm just curious. Like, I know this is just one video, but this has been 13 and a half minutes of them complaining about having to go and talk to someone. Like, I don't understand why this is that big of a deal. If we're equal, right? Like, that's what I keep hearing. We're all equals. So if one gender is saying that they're complaining about doing the things that make them equal, then I don't understand. Like, what's the problem? This sounds like a good thing. Like, from what I remember, no, you don't want men to come and talk to you. No, you don't feel safe. All these things, you don't want men at all. Like, we need to, like, we don't need you. And it's like, okay, well, why are you complaining? Now I do want to give grace here, okay? So, and I think this is important for everyone to do. including those people who are watching this now, or even in the VOD. A lot of these girls who, you know, or who people are saying, "Oh, y'all said y'all didn't want men." Let's be honest. That's not the ones who are in their early 20s. You know, it's not them. It's the ones who are our age or older who are saying that. How do I know that? Well, just how human they weren't born. They weren't here. So of course they didn't say that. They were born into an environment where, you know, like this is just a culture. So like they go to school, they're indoctrinated just like guys or, you know, boys, they're indoctrinated too. So, you know, you can't really, you can't place all the blame on them. You can place some, right? They have some level of accountability to bear, but you can't place it all on them for whatever it is, for whatever that's worth. Wait a minute, my friend is about to show me somewhere that I may have been to. Corporate. Oh wait, no, wait, hold on. Is this the one I went to? I'm looking at a restaurant that my friend just sent me. Give me a second. I want to say, no, I haven't been to this one. Okay. Yeah, I've been to another one. All right, let's play this.
Are y'all going to approach them? Because hell would freeze over before I ever.
What happened?
Okay, well, hell, it's going to freeze over. I love how they'll say this stuff. It's like, do you realize that the men who you want don't care? Man, you know, it would be awesome if there were a way. Because YouTube used to have this. Do y'all remember back in the day, there used to be YouTube replies where you could reply to a video with another video? I don't know why they took that feature away, but we need that feature because I would be happy to answer some of these people's questions. And I know that I fit in that category of people who they all say they want. You know, that whole 666 bullshit, the devil, the demon. I actually fit into that, and you know, like I'm a little bit further along in life, and you know, I've been described as a good person. In fact, in 2 situations, I've been described as too good or too nice. It was actually too nice, as well as you deserve better than me, and whatever that means. I think I know what it means now, or like like, you know, like you're just too, I guess. I don't know, like, I don't think I deserve someone. It's all these whatever cop-out filler words. So it's like, I do understand that I'm probably, with a high degree of confidence, in the group of men who they all claim that they want. And I think it's not enough of them being vocal, you know, and just being honest with these people. Maybe there are, and they're just not being listened to. I don't know. I mean, like, you know, I'm not talking about, like, you know, the ones who are high value because they have money. Like, I don't think that having money makes you that valuable, to be perfectly frank. I know a lot of people with a lot of money and that don't mean anything. I think that has more to do with character, as well as, you know, your morals and your principles, and staying on those, right? Like, you know, even in situations where, you know, you may not get what you want, or you may not come out ahead, you actually may come out behind, to still, you know, maintain those principles and your morals, and to stick with that. I think that's what makes you a really valuable person, is that. And I also believe that money follows that, but that's just my belief, right? Like, I don't take that as gospel.
To men pursuing girls. When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal, where they expect girls to be making the first moves.
I think it's when we were told that we're all equal, and that you can do anything that we can do, but better. I remember that. I think it was around that time that the roles started to reverse. When, you know, you started to go out and get your career, and you're like, oh, I can make my own money, I don't need you. I think that's a role reversal, because historically it's always really been the opposite, where it's like, and it's still that way in reality. We in fact don't need you. There's one reason why we need you. One main one. There are some other secondary ones, which are also just as important. But the main one is to continue the human race. Like men can't do that. That's a superpower that they have that they don't want to. I don't know. They don't want it. I don't know. I don't understand it. Like you can do the one thing that we can't. Everything else we're good. But like that's the one thing we can't do. We need you for that, literally. But we need you for that. All the other things, they're nice to haves, I guess. But like, they aren't necessities. Now, that being said, there are other things that that they provide. Like I call it like social lubricant, right? Like, I think you need women around to kind of keep the violence level to to within a tolerable margin, right? Like, if it's just a bunch of men, we're all competitive. We're very strong-minded, strong-headed, our way, that kind of thing. Having a woman in the presence tones that down a lot. And I think it's a lot to do with the fact that, you're there. So of course we can't act the way that we normally act alone. We can't do all of this stupid shit because you're there. Like we have to respect the fact that you're there. Right? Anyway, let's keep going.
Yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore, don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more.
I disagree. I think it's the opposite. I actually think it's the opposite. I think if the guy likes the girl too much, she thinks that she can do better, and she'll go and get a guy who doesn't feel like she's worthy or something. Like basically, it's that whole like, if she knows that you think that she's the best that you can do, then that's going to make her feel a certain kind of way, and she'll start looking out. Maybe that's not true. Maybe a clinical psychologist can go into that evidence, or a psychologist, just a regular psychologist, or a therapist. Maybe they can go into that and explain details. There's a guy, his name is Psychax, I think. I don't know his real name, but I think his channel is called Psychax. And I think he talks about that.
He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift? Because back in my mom's era, if a guy wanted to take you out on a date, he had to go up to you, he had to get your number, he had to go through...
Wait, why is she talking about back in her mom's era? Like this is the 50s? Why? I thought this ain't the 50s. Why are we going back? Why are we looking back? Like, we're not in your mom's era. Like, from what I've been told, we've made progress. So we're no longer in your mom's era. We're in our era, which everyone's telling me is a better era. I don't know if I agree, but I'll just I'll acknowledge it. We made so much progress. Like women are finally equal to men. Like you could all do all the same things we could do. There are no laws that hold you back. In fact, there are laws in place that make it so that you actually have privileges over us. So, like this is what you get. It comes with costs. This is that accountability. Like it's in the word account. Like it's accountability. You're going to get something that you want, and oh, by the way, everything comes with strings attached, responsibilities, things that you have to be responsible for. And this is it. You want freedom? You want equality? You want all these things? Okay, you have it. But here's what it comes with. You have to do more stuff now. Uh-oh. What's going on? Did my camera go off? Yeah. All right. And now I'm too bright.
Lengths to try to talk to you, even if you weren't interested at first. How my parents met? They met at a bar, and my dad asked for my mom to dance. My mom was like, "Get out of here." She wanted nothing to do with him. If he had just left and listened to her, they would have never gone married. They would have never had kids.
Wait, I thought that was toxic masculinity. I thought no meant no. That's what I learned growing up in the 90s. No means no. Is that not the case? I thought no meant no. In fact, when I say I'm not being facetious right now, I'm being dead ass. I was taught that no means no. That if they say no, that you need to move on and like just go away. Like no means no. There were whole media campaigns, like all these ads saying no means no. My entire childhood, adolescence, teenage, even early adulthood, even when I got to college, we had to go through during orientation, like we had to go into stuff like that. It's like no means no. And to be honest, nowadays, you can go to jail. So it's like, yeah, if I happen and I just like if I'm in a place and I go up to someone and they say no, get out of here. Well, shit, I'm not gonna get out. I'm gonna just say okay and move on. I'm not gonna keep talking to that person. What the hell? Why would I do that? Why should I risk my freedom, my livelihood for your ego? Because that's what I'm hearing right here. She's like, oh yeah, like so what if I say no? It's like, well, how about you don't lie to people? Because maybe the high value person who you want hates liars. So if you lie to me and say, oh, I don't want you to talk to me, and it's like, that's a lie, you've already ruined the potential at that point, because now I know it's just a liar. If you were to come back and be like, oh no, I was just kidding. It's like, oh, nah, I don't want immaturity in my life. To me, that's stupid. That's immature. That's childlike. That's adolescent behavior. That's not something that's worthy of someone who is of value in our country. Like if you're dealing with someone in the top 1%, just understand that they know that they're in the top 1%. So you can't do these, you can't play these. I mean, you can, obviously, we're a free country. You can play whatever games you want, but just understand that some of us don't play games, which is probably why, y'all can't find us, which is good. It's working. I stay at home. It's like the only way you're going to come and meet me is if you're doing well enough to live here on one of the lower floors. And it's like, maybe you'll see me. But even then, like I'm elevators high, if I'm high and I'm not trying to talk to nobody. I'm just like, hello, you don't need to know my name. Goodbye. This is your floor. All right, I'm going up. I don't play it anymore. I'm just like, nah, that's like the only way you're gonna meet me is if you're in the spaces that I am in. And that's another thing, that they're all looking for those types of guys, and they're going to places where those types of guys aren't. And honestly, to get into some of these places, you can't just get in. You have to already like either have connections, or you need to already have made something of yourself, or have a successful business or something. Like a lot of us don't just roll in circles that are just out in public where you can just easily come in. Right? Like for instance, let's say I met a few girls when I was at Monterey Car Week, and I'm not saying like that. I mean like they have cars, like they're into cars and shit. They do content as well. So I met a few of them when I was in Monterey Car Week. And to be honest, you don't go to Monterey Car Week if you don't have money. Like you just, in some of these events, you can't get into unless you're invited. So if I meet you and we are at the McLaren party, you're at the McLaren party because either you know someone who has McLarens and they've been invited to that party, or you yourself have McLarens and you have been invited to that invite only party. So you're not going to be like, if you're just some regular girl, you're not going to even have the opportunity to like be in our spaces. Like, oh, are you going to come to the country club? The country club dues are $150K a year. Well, not a year. I'm sorry. It's $150K. And then you have to pay it's like $18,000 a year. It's like, unless you're in those places, like you're not going to come across those types of guys. So some of it is, you really have to be connected or, in those spaces. And I think a lot of them, they're just looking in the wrong places. A lot of them are in their homes or in their business, their offices, that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't think that's fair to say. I don't think that's fair to say. At least for the ones who I know. I won't pull her up here because obviously this is online, but she owns several Paganis, and I know what she did. Like she was in tech. She made money, bro. Like This is one of them. The other one, she has a very, very, very successful Instagram, and it's not pictures of her. There are no pictures of her. It's only cars, and I won't say her name either. But it's only cars, and like all she does is she goes and do car reviews. There's another one, international, and I know y'all know who this one is. So I won't say it, but she's out in the Middle East, and she does content, and not the kind. When I say content, I mean she does car reviews, right? And she has a massive following, and obviously, I mean her husband is well off, but even still, like she's doing well on her own. So there are women out here who genuinely love cars, and I mean it. In fact, one of my friends is like she races for Porsche. If y'all were in one of the live streams, when I was doing the AI, we were talking about AI stuff. She was in the Twitter. She races for Porsche. She has and her friend races for McLaren. Her friend's a girl. So I don't think it's fair to say that that's what they did to get in, because that's not true. There are women who really love motorsport, and you meet them when you're out in these in some of these events. And because they love motorsports, and like they're also just like they're more down to earth, even though you wouldn't expect it. But the fact that they love the things that we love, like that's an easy way for me to connect. Like at this point, I'm willing to talk to you because we're talking about things that I enjoy. It's like, yeah, we can talk about engineering. We can talk about the latest vehicles, the driving dynamics of some of our favorite tracks, different driving adventures we've done, all these kind of things. But no. That's what I found is that, a lot of them just aren't, and I'm not saying that at these car events, I'm just saying in general, a lot of them just aren't that interesting. They haven't done anything. They want someone who's well established and who's accomplished it, but they themselves haven't done that, and they're not interesting. At least to me, right? Like I'm not easily impressed by much these days, which is it's kind of a curse, kind of. You would think that it's a good thing, but I think sometimes it's kind of nice to be able to enjoy simple things and not, like for the first time, like this is something that I struggle with now where, I was talking to one of my neighbors, and he's the same way. Like, I was just like, man, like where is there to go right now? Like, like everywhere seems the same. I don't want to go anywhere. Yo, what's up, Frankie? How you doing? We're talking about the video. We're only 15 minutes in. As you can see, I've been here for over 2 hours, and I'm not even 20 minutes into the video. But yeah, let's try to get some more into this video.
But he was persistent. He wanted to take her out on a date so badly. He was like, what do I have to do to take you out on a date? She was working late their first date, so he went to her work, picked her up, prepped a dinner, took her to a park, just planned the whole thing. He wrote her poetry. He was yearning. How my aunt and my uncle met. My aunt was a dancer on a cruise ship, and he was the photographer. And he was persistent. She overheard him one night saying to his buddy, he was like, I'm gonna marry that girl. He had just met her. And now they're married, and they have 2 kids together. I don't hear anything like that now. Now we're praising eye contact.
Wait. So she gave 2 examples, and she's like, I know. Okay, well, that's fine. This is not the 50s, right? That's what we're trying to move away from. It's confusing to me because, everyone else are saying, this isn't the 50s, we shouldn't have to do these things and all this blah, 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 blah. And then we're not in the 50s anymore. So go and ask the person who you want to talk to. Go deal with the potential of being rejected. It's okay. It's not that bad. Like, I've been rejected once in my life, and it wasn't for a girl. It was for something stupid. That's a lie. I was rejected more than once. I was rejected from USC, and I was rejected from Y Combinator twice. Those are my rejections. Honestly, the USC one, I don't even think I cared that much. The YC things, I don't think I cared that much either. I'm sure there's been another rejection. There has to be. Oh, yeah. I have been rejected, but this one, I don't know if you were going to count it. The first time I went to a Porsche dealership, I tried to buy a GT3. I remember it stung too. I had my cash in hand. It was a check. I was like, I had my build order. I was like, I'm getting me a GT3. I was excited. I get into the dealership. I remember the guy's name. We're actually good buddies now. But I went into the dealership. I was like, I have my bill code. I want a GT3. And they laughed at me. They're saying, you're not getting a GT3. I was like, what do you mean? I have my, I probably look stupid too. I was like, I have my, I'm like, I have the money. They're like, yeah, it doesn't matter. So yeah, that was the true rejection. That would hurt. Never mind. Rejections do hurt. That would make me feel bad. I was just like, wait a minute. All my life, I thought that all I had to do was work hard, and once I get money, I can go buy the things I want. And then I learned, nah, that's not true. Ferrari, they don't care about you, your money. They're like, yeah, there's a California over there. You buy that, use one. Buy that first, or buy some other like. That's why I don't like Ferrari. That's why I went to Porsche actually, because at least they let me buy something that I want. Kind of, not really. They did let me buy a Macan Turbo. They're like, oh, we have a nice little Macan Turbo over there for you. And they gave it to me for such a good deal where it's like, I was appreciative. They gave it to me for $25,000 off. It was $100,000. And I got it out the door for $84,000. Out the door. That's everything, right? So like to me, that was a good deal. It was a wonderful vehicle. I love that car. Now I remember these last times you mentioned the word attention and how that adds for some to the algorithm. Attention and how that adds for some to the algorithm. So are you talking about like me watching this? Because if so, yeah, I have noticed that lately in my feed, there is more of this kind of bullshit and not the kind of stuff that I actually watch, which is interesting because the stuff that I've been watching for years, all of a sudden it's just like, no, we're not going to show you that. Like I used to watch just like talks, conference talks or lectures, college lectures. There are these like history channels that I love. There are these philosophy channels that I love, like What Alt History. That's a really good one. Or what's the math channels? Like what do you call it? Shit, I don't know that. Oh, Number File. Yeah, Number File, Computer File. 3 brown, 1 blue, or 3 blue, 1 brown, whatever his name is. There's this girl who does these really, really cool, in-depth like videos on programming, but it's from a linear algebra and math perspective. She's talking about like GPU and rendering and stuff. She's really cool. So I like watching that kind of stuff. And that's actually the kind of stuff I'm subscribed to. But for whatever reason, on the homepage, the recommendation is all this kind of bullshit. Sometimes it's the news stuff, like for specific people who I follow who cover news in certain countries and geographies, regions. Sometimes their stuff is there too. But I've noticed that more and more lately, it's this kind of stuff. Even though, like even right now, if you look at what's on my TV, just to kind of prove this point, right? Okay, you're not gonna see it. Let me make it dimmer so you can see the TV back there. All right. Can y'all see that? I don't know if y'all can see that, but over there, that says gradient interpolation color spaces. All right, so that's what's generally playing. Let me turn my ISO back up. That's generally what's playing on my TV. And some other stuff, NSRGB, sRGB linear, OKLab, LCH, Lab HSL, like all of the different ways that we represent colors. Like that's what's on the screen right now. And that's what's been playing, not just this, but like stuff like this, that's what's been playing since I started the stream. In fact, it's stuff like that that's been playing throughout the day. So yeah, I just realized I'm overexposed. I'm about to sit down. I've been standing up for 3 hours now. I took a long ass walk with Roscoe. Let me sit down. Okay, sitting down nice and comfy in my nice little Herman Miller chair. Supposedly it moves with your body. I don't know. I've had it for a long time. Let's see. I just got in. Wait, hold on. Wait, is it me, or you can also see how much makeup is needed in order to express oneself? Are you quoting that Russian lady? I think she's Russian. I don't know. The one who's like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. This could be a filter. No, they have those filters on the phones now. You can't trust what you see anymore these days.
Now we're praising if a guy held a door open to us and smiled.
But now that you're here, I'm curious. Do you like makeup? Because I personally hate it. I hate it. I even thought like my last major girlfriend. I was like, I told her, I was like, honestly, I don't like makeup. I'm like, you're fine already. like it's like I already know what you look like. I don't have to. It's like, what are you putting on makeup for? She's like, I'll do it for me. I'm like, do you though? Do you? Because it's like if the person who, I don't know, maybe I just don't understand. It's like they get what they claim they want, and then maybe they're all still looking. Maybe, I don't know. Is there a possibility she's an AI?
That is what we're praising.
Nah.
It feels so backwards. I just wonder when it shifted, because I feel like that is the whole downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone now, because men just don't care anymore.
Ask the bear. We put out the bare minimum.
The bare minimum.
We can put in a 1,000% effort, and you ladies will still say it's the bare minimum. When women decided they didn't want or need us anymore, rejection after rejection after rejection. You try it and see how you feel when we were told we're not wanted, needed, desired, and told to stop pursuing.
So here's my thing with makeup. If you're wearing it, don't touch me. Like, I don't have a problem with it per se. Like, I'm not saying that people shouldn't wear makeup. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't like it. So, no, that's just my personal preference. So it's like, so long as, you're there and I'm here, we're good. Now, if you're someone who has on makeup and you're like trying to give me a hug and no, don't touch me with that shit. I hate it. It's disgusting. Literally. It's repulsive to me. So yeah, I don't want my clothes getting dirty. I don't want that shit clogging up my pores. Like, I have very good skin for a guy. I have very good skin. So why would I want that shit on me? Nah, I'm good. In fact, it looks clownish to me. Like, literally, whenever I see it, it's like Ronald McDonald shit. This is like, why do you put this cake on your face? It don't even look good. Maybe just, I don't know. We're all different. That's the beauty of our world, is that we are all different. We have all different experiences. We like different things. That's what makes it work. So, more power to you. It's actually good. We need people who like it, because, if everyone hated it, then I still don't think it would matter. But but it's like, at least there are people out here who enjoy it. I'm just like, miss me with it.
The laws have changed, making it dangerous for a guy to make a move that can cost him to face criminal charges. The men have put in way more than enough effort, and it got them nowhere. No man should have to keep being persistent to try and get a woman. If she was really interested, she would show the same interest. Being comfortable and single is something men have had to get used to. If these women want to be in their future, they're going to have to prove it. They can be miserable on their own.
You have to remember that no one flirts better than a woman that is not really that interested in you.
And we wonder why guys are just done with dating, because apparently now flirting means that she's not interested. Oh, but guys should be able to read body language and eye contact, as if that's any easier to decode.
Men, let me let you in on a little secret. You may not realize this, but you have more power than you know. So I want you to be
That's
more
not a
true to
secret.
this aspect right here. Let's get into it. Remember, y'all, women love to be desired. They love attention. Attention
Yep, I
is
do
their
know this.
currency.
So, yes. I think I want to hear what she has to
Attention
say.
is the drug. And a lot of y'all giving everybody attention, giving it
That's
out for
true.
free.
It's
no.
simps. She's describing simps.
Be choosy about it, sir. It's your currency. Remember, our time is a limited resource. We don't know how much time we have, so don't give it away. If you give it attention, make sure it's worth it. Make sure it's to someone who actually values you. A woman that you actually want to be with long term. A woman that actually meets the standard. Don't just be giving that thing away for free. Women love attention. There's a lot of men giving it to them, and therefore reinforcing things that men say they don't want. So I urge you, men, be intentional about who and what you are giving your attention to.
She gets it. She basically summed up how I think. I already know that it's attention that they seek, which is why I don't give it. It's very easy. For me, at least. It's just like, I know the thing that you want, and I just don't give it to you. And what can you do about it? You can't really do anything. I'm not hurting anybody. It's like, it's not illegal for me to ignore you. It's not illegal for me to not like any. So on Instagram, if there's a picture of a girl who's taking pictures of herself, I don't like it. I don't comment on it. I don't do any of that stuff. In fact, unless it's a actually good photo, and I'm not talking about the subject, the actual photo has to be good. I will like photos. So I want to be clear. I'm not saying that there are not female photographers who I don't like their stuff. In fact, I want to show some of that. Let me make sure I have Instagram up. I don't. Okay, let me pull up Instagram. Oh wait, no, I do. I think I had it in another tab. Yeah. So what I'll do is we'll look through some of the female photographers who they do amazing work. I like their stuff, but they're also, I have friends who post themselves, and I don't like any of that shit. It's just like I just don't like it, and it's not because I don't like what they're doing. It's just like I just don't like it. If I liked it, I would like it, but it's also like, why would I give attention? Like, I'm not being paid for that. What am I getting for my attention? That attention is energy. All right, keep that in mind. Attention costs you energy. It's like, what are you getting in return for that? Something. So at least with this live stream, for instance, like, whoever is here giving me your attention, at least we get to have a conversation. It's not just you drop a like and then you boost her ego and she don't know you exist, and then like nothing comes from it. It's like, I know you exist. You can put stuff in the chat. We'll talk about whatever. Give thoughts and advice, like all kinds of things that you don't get from liking somebody's picture on Instagram. But there are people who do that, and I'll show you an example of that, because there's this other girl who I follow who has this, like, she has some kind of, like, what do you call those things? It's called a wish list, and there are men who actually buy the stuff on her wish list. They basically just buying her shit. I'm just like, my gosh. And then they talk about that we live in a patriarchal society that's oppressive, and like they don't have privileges. It's like, there is no guy who can put up a wish list of things and say, hey, you can like buy me these things, and people are going to go buy them these things. That's just, it's just delulu. Energy flows where attention goes. Well, yeah, I mean, that's because it's literally it, right? Like that's, you can't give attention without giving the energy. It requires energy. All right, let's see. Let's try to get through this. I only have 2-3 minutes. This is going to be a first. Let's see if we can get through this in under 3 hours. This 20-minute video. Let's see if we can get through it in another 3 hours.
Men on this app say, I don't chase, I attract.
Good for them, but I'm sure
this girl.
Something
yeah, this is the one. Is this who you were talking about when you say one self? Because I noticed that she says that a lot. I think she's Russian. Maybe she's not. She looks Eastern European to me though.
This app say, I don't chase, I attract.
Good for them, but I'm sure that one has something to say about that.
You're a man.
And?
That's like your only job.
Only job?
My only job.
Hardly.
Okay.
As if it's a man's sole purpose in life to pursue women, but I digress. Let's actually focus on what was said here. Now, it actually makes perfect sense if someone actually takes a moment to think about it, why a man would say that he doesn't chase, he attracts. Because the dynamic is quite obvious. Many women were more than pleased to say that they have multiple men pursuing them at any given point in time. So, frankly, they get to choose from the pool of men that are pursuing them. Now, for a man, it takes quite a lot of energy to pursue someone romantically, so it only makes sense that he would decide to only pursue someone after they have made it abundantly clear that they are interested in him and are attracted to them. So why would a guy pursue a woman that doesn't have any interest in him? It only makes perfect sense if you actually take a moment to think about it.
Well, the thing is, they don't think. This is just another example of men's standards being attacked. It doesn't matter what standards men set for themselves. It will always be an issue to a woman in the world somewhere. Speaking of chasing or attract, some men don't even bother with neither of them. It got to the point where they have no desire to deal with any woman. They do not have time for the drama.
You know, I
mean, he basically just described me like I just don't deal with it. I don't have time for it. And I understand that my energy and resources are better spent elsewhere. What I mean by that, let's say this, right? Like I'm burning a lot of energy and resources and time doing this live stream. But I understand that over time that this will give me a higher return on my investment than taking this same energy and pouring it into some modern female who is eventually going to become entitled and think that this is what their level is and that they can go off and do better. Like all these things, right? So like at the end of the day, the best case scenario is we get married and she has my children and she doesn't use them as a weapon. That's the best case scenario. And by the way, that best case scenario is going to cost me more money, more time, more energy, more of my resources. So doing well in that area is only going to cost me more money. And like, so it's, at least with this, it's the opposite, right? Like over time, this becomes less of a cost. I mean, it's already less of a cost. Like most of my costs are sunk costs got like a lot, like for instance, the camera, for instance, I didn't buy my camera to do these live streams or to do this type of video. Like I bought my camera because I actually am a photographer and I am into tech and cameras and I have a lot of camera gear. Or this computer that I have, like I didn't actually buy my M1 Max Studio Ultra, whatever it is, M1 Ultra Studio. I didn't buy this because of this stream. I bought it because I actually use it. I'm a software engineer. I build software and I do other things. I do music. I also do my photography, remember? At one point I used to do video. I'm starting to do video more. So like I do a lot of things. So I have all this stuff for other reasons. So even if, like in the future, like, this starts to pop off, like my costs aren't going to increase. They're mostly sunk costs. Like, my internet's the internet bill. Like it doesn't really change. My light bill is, not really much. It's not really going to change. So yeah, it's just like, I wish they would understand that. Like, sometimes it's about ROI, right? At least for the high value people who they claim that they want. I hear there was a lot of talk about finance bros now. It's like, I don't understand. Like when it comes to that, when I'm looking at any investment, I only care about my return on investment. That's it. Like that's how it's go, no go. What am I getting in return for my investment? And if it's not, it's not at a point where I'm like, it's like, this is good, then I'm gonna do my next best alternative. And it's that simple. So it's like they say they want these people, but I don't think they understand how these people think. Right? We just don't think the same. It sounds similar when you say the time shared in this lifespan is already an investment. Correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds similar when you say the time shared in this live stream. In this live stream is already an investment. This is an investment. Like it takes. Because think about it, right? Like we all have 24 hours in a day. So whenever you're like, oh, I'm busy, like just keep in mind, everyone has the same amount of hours. It's what you do with it that matters. So, whenever you choose to do one thing, especially as you get older and you have more responsibilities, that means that you may have to sacrifice other things. So let's say, for instance, this. Other things that I can be doing is I could be building stuff. I can be out enjoying my motorcycle, the one that I just spent all this money on. I could be out riding. I could be out hanging with friends or go out to eat. I can do all these other things. But instead, I choose to do this. So, yes, it's an investment. I'm saying, no, I'm going to use my time, my energy, and put it into this thing. And then, over time, I expect that to have a return. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. Right? Like if I knew that if I just sat here and talked to myself for a year and a half or two, and then at the end of that year and a half or two, that I'm in the same place that I was in when I started, I would never do it. That's silly to me. That's not how you allocate resources. Generally, if you want to grow, and especially in like if you're talking about net worth or your assets, it's really an allocation game. You need to place your investments in the places that are going to give you the best return. And it's not just the best return, it's also how much can you actually put into that particular vehicle to invest, right? Because, let's say you can invest in one asset or one endeavor and like you'll get a 50% return. I'm just throwing numbers out. It may not make sense, but you get a 50% return, but you can only put 100 units of investment into it. Whereas there might be some alternative investment that will only give you a 30% return, but you could put 1,000 units of investment points into it. So it's more than just, the absolute return. It's also like how much can you put into it. So for, this content and streaming, it seems like, you could put a lot into it, and it also seems like you can get a lot out of it over time. But I do understand that it takes a long time. It takes 2 to 3 years to build just a moderate audience, right? Like let's state here for instance, I'm looking at my numbers. There are like 4 people on YouTube watching me live right now, and a person on Twitch, and that may be me, right? I don't know. It may be me. And apparently there might be 3 people on Twitter. I don't actually know that to be true. Let me turn off Zoom. No one's joining. I don't want to just have it running. So it's like, I have all these other things. Wait a minute. Yeah. So it's like when I first started this, when I would start these live streams, I would have no one watching. And even though I only have a couple, it's not that many people. Like that's more than 0. I remember just last year at this time, I would maybe have 1 or 2 people, and those are like just my friends, really. And now, I have regulars like Casual Economist is here. I met Hoosier. I don't know if he's been around lately. Like Frankie and Video Changer. Like, I've noticed that y'all have been here more than once, right? It's to a point to where when I see the name, I recognize, Zany, I don't know if he's still here. When I see the name, I recognize the person, right? So this is something that, is taken, y'all don't see this, but it's taken 18 months to get to here on YouTube. But it's been 2 years. I started streaming 2 years ago. I started on Twitch though. So it's taken me almost 2 years to get to a point to have maybe 8 views and a couple likes on my streams. And I expect that, it'll continue to grow because these things aren't linear growth. They generally, they follow an exponential curve over time. So I'm looking at it that way, right? Where it's like, I'm putting in this effort to get something out of it. And for me, the things that I can get out of it is I can get new relationships out of it, right? Like I know y'all's names. At least I know y'all's handles. I don't know your real names, but it's like I know y'all's handles. By the way, y'all should put pictures on yourself, that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool in that regard. Cool. When then you have things clear. What about Transformers and LLMs? Don't they have somehow the same? Wait, what about Transformers and LLMs? Don't they have how the same function? I don't know if I understand. Casual Economist, he said he found me when he jumped. Oh yeah. Has he done any streams? I haven't seen any streams from him lately, from TLA, or is it just me? And because I didn't unsubscribe, I'm still a subscriber. I like him a lot. He's pretty cool. Yeah. I was on TLA stream. Was that last year? I think that may have been last year. Well, I'm glad that you're here, bro. Like, it's pretty cool. He told me that what I was doing was not interesting, and he's never watched it, right? Like, I'm not attacking it. I understand what he meant. Like, he's right. What I was doing is not that interesting, and I have not only his word and other people's words, I also have the numbers to back it up. Because I have a stream. We're going to finish this, I promise. We're going to finish it. I said we're going to finish the video for once. We're going to finish it. Let's finish this video first, and then I can show you the numbers. That's kind of driving things. And then for Frankie, can you can you clarify what you're saying? I don't quite follow. Oh yeah, he's streaming. Might want to say. Oh, he's streaming right now. Bro, like, I don't. The only notifications I get are for, and this is going to sound bad, but I only do notifications for content where I'm going to learn something. So, for instance, you see here, whenever he releases a new video, I know about it. So, like, I'll go and watch it because, you know, like, I'm learning something. And yeah. Oh, he streamed every day this week. Oh man. Well, I don't know if you know this. I have a that's my excuse. I have a job. That's why. I like during the day. I tend to work, and I sometimes stream during the week. Yeah, I'm probably not the best content consumer, and you'll get to know this about me over time. Like, I'm probably one of the worst when it comes to content consumption, because the main content that I consume is like lectures and talks, debates. I love that shit. Or history. One of my favorite podcasts. Is it a podcast? I'm gonna call it a podcast because that's what it seems like now. It's the history where, civilization, ancient civilizations. I think they've turned it into a podcast, but it's basically videos on YouTube. I love that shit. It's like 2.5, 3 hour exposition of like a civilization, and like, you know, from beginning to, you know, their heyday to fall. I love stuff like that. There's also some of the folks who do their there's this woman, I don't know her name. We'll go into that. Let's finish this. We're almost finished. We're almost to the finish line. We only got a minute.
I just had a realization that actually most men are not obsessed with women. They're obsessed with other men. They could care less what women think. Their number one focus is what other men think of them. So women, if we were wondering why men are the way they are, is because they're not obsessed with you. They don't care what you think or how you feel. Their number one priority is other men.
I don't know if she's trying to insinuate something, but she is right. But it almost seems like she's trying to shame for that. I don't think she understands that men are the ones with power and authority and status, which is why they chase men with power, authority, and status. And like, same for men. They chase power, authority, but they want it for themselves because, you know, that means that other women will chase them. And that's how respect is built. It means a lot when other men have your respect because it's just different. They actually had to become. They weren't just born. You know, there's a big difference. You know, generally the people who are just born, they're not respected and valued as much as the people who become. She has a point for men to avoid. She has a point for men to avoid. I mean, what do you mean by, what do you mean? She has a point for men to avoid. Because, I mean, she's not wrong. Like, she's right. Like, you know, for the most part, we don't care. It's just like, we really don't. And yes, for the most part, it is other men, but it's for them too. But it's not for the same reason. For them, they're attractive. For us, it's like, well, that's how you get your money. Right? Like, if you're not respected by men, then you don't get promoted. If you don't get promoted, you don't make more money. And also, if you want to gain more responsibility, you need the respect, and you know, you need the people who have the power to put that faith into you. And whatever reason, it's men. You know, no, they can come up and make the argument that, oh, it's men because we're pushing them out, but I don't think that's true. I've tried to work with women and like with my own stuff. Like, it was one of my goals to have, you know, equitable. I don't know if I'm still a follower of that, but it was one of my goals to have actual like women in my work. And the reason why is because I just thought that was the thing to do. But I noticed there's a difference in work ethic. I don't know, maybe I'm bad for noticing it, but it's like I worked a little bit differently from the way that they worked, and some of the other men who I paid worked very differently from the way that they worked. I didn't hear as many excuses. I didn't hear as many, I need to take the day off, and I didn't hear as many of that. It was just like, you know, we say, all right, this is what needs to get done. I don't have to sugarcoat anything. It's like, you're not hitting your fucking deliverable. Like, I need the shit. Like, I'm paying you, right? Like, I can straight to the point. Like, to me, that seems, I don't know, maybe that's why. Sometimes the reason why things are the way they are because of the behaviors of the people, right? Like, it's not because, this society is actually enforcing it. Maybe the society is composed of you too. But we're tearing society apart these days. So we won't have to worry about that for too much longer.
And if you know, you know. And yes, before you run your mouth, before you come to me, I don't know. Yeah, not all men, but most men do. So.
Well, she's right. Most men are not in the top. So what she's doing is she's shitting on most men because they are not at the top. This is disgusting behavior. She should be ashamed of herself. But of course, I don't think that's a thing that, I don't think that's a thing that that they're capable of. All right, let me put it back on this. I don't know how I ended up off of my other scene. And for whatever reason, it doesn't work on my Streamcast. Let me put that on my, what is the Stream Deck? Yeah. Let's figure out why that doesn't work on my Stream Deck talk. Yeah, that didn't work. Whatever, I don't care anymore. We're going to finish this video.
Are, of course, the old shaming tactic from a bitter woman.
Oh, they picked it up too. Okay. Man, you know what? So this is how you know that maybe what some of these people are saying about them is true, because I'm saying this independently. I haven't actually watched this yet. So it's like I'm saying this independently, and then we play, and then literally he's same thing, same conclusion. I'm curious how many is that the point that you were making, Frankie? Is that the point that you were making, kind of like, that? Because if so, that means that 3 independent people who haven't seen this arrived to the same conclusion based off of what she said. And there's this saying, if everyone says it, then maybe it's you. I don't know. Maybe it only applies to us.
This is a woman who probably never had a man before. These women need to ask themselves, what exactly is a man supposed to be obsessed with? Their bad attitude? Their self-centered personality?
This fake ass hair that she has on top of her head, this is not her real hair. Like, how you gonna get up here looking like that? Like, let's be real. Like, this ain't her real eyelashes. Her eyebrows are trash. And she wearing this disgusting bun on top of, I don't know, whatever that is. I don't know what it is. And she has the audacity to try to shame and talk down on the men who aren't at the top. Like, that's not, see, that's the thing, is that this is what the participation trophy kind of thing did. It's like, it gave people this false belief that we are actually all equal. That's false. We're only equal under the eyes of the law, but even that's false. We're not all equal. This attempt to try to create this egalitarian shit, like, no, we're, unfortunately or fortunately, we're not all equal. And I don't know. Let's finish this. Let's finish.
The lack of them taking accountability? No. There is literally nothing for a man to be obsessed with anymore. Dating is just a game to some of these women. A man realizing his worth doesn't mean he's into other men. He's just evolved to not deal with modern women's bullshit.
All right, look at that finish. Oh my gosh, success. Oh my gosh, this took so long. I want y'all to know that this 20-minute video has turned into 2.5 hours on this stream. So, y'all want to talk about this video? Let's have a conversation. Like, what do y'all think? I don't know how. Congratulations to you if you were able to sit through that. I'm over here struggling myself, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. It's hard to watch this stuff because, like, fundamentally I don't care. It's like, that's the thing. Is like, fundamentally, I don't give a shit about any of this. Like, because at the end of the day, it's not a problem that I suffer from. It's also not a problem that's mine. Like, a lot of them complaining, it's their problem. I'm not going to solve it. I have no interest in solving it. In fact, I have a video that it's not published, but it's uploaded, and y'all are about to see it. I'm not gonna play it, but you'll see it because I said I was gonna show numbers to kind of show like the kind of back up the fact of what I was saying about TLA, saying that what I was doing is boring, and he's not wrong. I mean, the numbers are gonna back it up. So let's go look at some of the numbers, look at content, and then we'll do the lives. All right, so this is one thing that I'm gonna focus on maybe in the second half of the year. So I'm getting a lot of impressions, which is really, really good. So what I'm going to focus on is getting the click-through rate up. And actually, I have a plan. I have a strategy to doing that. It's just going to require execution, right? And it's really just create thumbnails. That's really it. It's simple. Create thumbnails, and hopefully Watsi Slackbot will actually help with that too. And I can start getting actual summaries, and we can put like links to what do you call it? The timestamps, so that people click through. Because for streams, I don't really care if people watch the whole thing. It's like watch part of it. One day I will start cutting them up too. So that's part of the growth plan. I don't know if I'm going to get to that second half of the year because this 400-hour stream goal is tough. It's hard. I don't want to complain, but like it's hard. Okay, so let's take a look at my top live streams in the past 28 days. Notice something? Notice anything about these numbers here? Here, let's go to see more. Let's see if we can notice anything about these numbers. Y'all notice anything about these numbers? YouTube seems to think that this is what I should be doing. They're actually promoting this in the algorithm. 47,000 impressions. The click-through rate is quite low. Actually, honestly, no, that's quite high. Yeah, that's actually kind of high. 2.4% for a live stream that doesn't have a thumbnail, that doesn't have a description. That's actually quite high. And the average view duration is also relatively high, even though it's a 3.5-4 hour stream. The fact that people are, here for 7 minutes in the days of YouTube Shorts, no, that's not too bad. Here, this. Oh wait. Oh yeah. Well, actually, no. That's it. Yeah, views. This one. Everything else. Some of these have been here for a long time. I think this is only 28 days. Let's go to 365. Let's do that. Let's go to past year. All right. So let's look at. Is it going to show? Why is it not showing all? Well, it doesn't matter. You see here. This is from 2023 in August. 54 views. All right, so yeah, it's very clear that doing tech stuff isn't the thing. Even when it comes to like it's easy to be like, oh well, if you add a thumbnail that'll help, but I would disagree with that because I look at the impressions. That's part of it, right? You want to look at your impressions to see whether or not YouTube is even recommending it. And that's basically like every time it's shown to someone. So at least what my strategy is I want to increase impressions. And even if I don't improve my click-through rate, if I can increase my impressions, if I just keep a 1% click-through rate, if I have 100,000 impressions in a 28-day period, that's 1,000 views. I'm not that greedy. You all got to understand that when I first started on YouTube for streaming, I would only get 2 or 3 views in a month. So to even be talking about having 1,000 views in a month, this is 3 orders of magnitude of growth. So I'm not really tripping. Let's see. We got some. Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah. Don't get caught up what she's saying. Yeah. Thanks for caring. Although it looks to me as one of the many new waves of specific group of influencers, and it's becoming a trend. What do you mean? One of the many new waves of specific group of influencers. I don't. Wait, you're not talking about me, right? Because that's not my goal. I'm not trying to be an influencer. In fact, I would probably claim it's the opposite goal. I would consider it a failure if my audience, over time, if they don't develop the sense that they should build independent thought. Like I don't want y'all to just be like, oh yeah, I don't want that. I don't want to influence you to do anything but to become better, right? Like, so, if there's things in your life, like if you don't have discipline, like my only influence is like, all right, well, try to develop discipline. Or if, you're not where you want to be financially, I would hope that, I could help, maybe not like physically help, not in the way that I would classically help a friend, but, like maybe I can, convince or inspire you to like, go to try to achieve your goals. Like that's more important to me. I understand that we live in a society, and when we all win, like if we all, a rising tide, that whole saying, a rising tide lifts all boats. Like I kind of believe in that, where, if I want my life to be better, then I should seek to make sure that the lives of those around me are better. I think that's how you actually make your life better. So it's not enough to just say, oh, I'm going to do this for me. Like it needs to be, you got to have others. And that's something that I learned over time, right? Like, building my own stuff. Men versus women, couple crisis, and more hashtags. Yeah, I'm trying. I don't know. I did commit to doing doing these twice a month. I don't know if I want to do it more than that for now. Maybe, I don't know, maybe in the future. Let's see how these go. But to be honest, I would prefer to do more meaningful content, like real talk. But at the same time, I also want growth, and I got to play the game, unfortunately. So, even though I prefer not even doing this, because I don't care about any of this shit. Like I'm not interested in them. That's the kind of person I am. When I'm not interested in something, I'm really not interested in it. So, I'm not interested in dating. So it's just like, I don't even know if my opinions really matter that much, because I don't face a lot of these problems. And honestly, I wouldn't face any of these problems. I just wouldn't tolerate it. I don't deal with stuff like that. I'm the kind of person, and I've done this before, and people don't know how to deal with it. I could be in a room having a conversation with someone, and they may say something that I don't like, or it's just like, well, I'll leave. Like, I won't even say shit. I've done this several times. Somebody be mid-sentence. I'm just like, I don't need to be here. I don't say it out loud. It's just in my mind. I'm like, I don't need to be here. And literally, they're over here talking. I'll just fucking go. I don't say anything. I'll just leave. It's like, so you may call me being an asshole. That's fine. I believe that, my peace and how I feel is more important than anything. So if being an asshole leads to me having peace, I'm all for it. That's fine. I'm okay with that. What do I mean by trend? What people often talk about lately. Oh yeah. The dating thing. Yeah, I think that's because a lot of people are having trouble with it, or maybe not. I was asking earlier in the stream if these are real issues that many people are facing, because I do admit to being a bit detached. Right? Like I'm aware. Like I have self-awareness, so I don't want to be on these live streams talking as if I have any type of experience with dealing with some of this. I have experience dealing with some of this stuff because obviously I've had significant others type things. So I understand some other things, but a lot of what people are complaining about now, I don't know. I've never done what do you call it? E-dating? What do you call it? Like, is it the one, the online dating? I've never done online dating. I've never used any of those dating apps. I think that's just debauchery. I think it's degenerate. I have a fundamental, like, it's just, I think it's disgusting. I don't like it. So I've never participated in it. So I don't have experience with dealing with, girls from apps or like going onto like e-dating sites, or even going to couple mingle, or not couple, but single mingle events. I don't even do that. So, there's a lot of people who've actually done those things, and they're saying, the dating market is trash, but I don't know because I'm not in the dating market. And even if I were, I think who I attract is different from the types of people that some of these other folks are attracting. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at, where it's like I don't know if I'm like the best person, but I'm gonna still talk about it because I think I still have opinions. By the way, I have a new goal. I just realized. Wait, hold on. Is this a goal? No, never mind. I was going to say my new goal is to try to get to 1 million impressions, but maybe it's going to be 100,000 impressions. So yeah, let's try to get. I want to try to get 100,000 impressions. Let's say by the third quarter in the third quarter, in the Q3. I think that'll be really cool. And also, I'm on track to get to my my other goal, which was to get to monetization on the live stream front. So I'm very close to that, actually. So I'm at I only got a few hundred hours to go, so I'll probably get to there by late August, maybe early September. And it looks like I'll also hit this other milestone, which I wasn't intending to hit this year, but maybe this will be a stretch goal. Obviously, this is a power long goal. It wasn't my original goal, but I could add it and say, you know what, I want to get to here, so that maybe next year I can start off with, let's figure out how to actually get this to where it's generating income, and then I can use this to kind of drive some of the initiatives that I want to drive in the future. Right? Like there are some things that I want to accomplish with this channel over time, and it's not necessarily for me to just earn money from this, because fortunately I earn money in different things. So it does afford me some level of privilege to be able to pick and choose what I will and won't do. But at the same time, I want to get to, I need this to start doing something soon, because, I need the return. I need a return. Let's see here. At my age, I would definitely avoid some scenarios. Yeah. Are we the same age? I assume we're kind of the same age. I'm 35 for what it's worth. I just turned 35 a couple months ago. Okay. Let's go to what? Ooh, no. All right. So I have another thing in here. What's else? No one's reporting this. Your phone is telling the insurance company. Woman want him canceled. Young men are failing. The masculinity crisis. Oh yeah, this dude. I love this dude.
I generally.
So he's I think he's a professor at NYU. I like him a lot. Well, who is this person? I don't know who he is, but whoever the professor is, I like him a lot.
Want to be with. There's no other way around it. I need to make more money.
They look at a guy and it says, when they look at you, they say, this guy has discipline. This guy can commit to something. This guy is good. I would say the biggest threat to our society isn't carbon emissions or climate change, or I would say that it's...
I'm pretty sure I know what he's saying, because I think I might agree. I think the biggest danger is young men who are sexually frustrated, who can't get a leg up, who basically can't, who can't do what men do. And that's a very big danger, because, the thing that I don't think a lot of these folks understand is that we are not, in fact, equal. We've been living in our society for far too long, and people have grown, they have this false sense of security and thinking that, things can't change. And I'm very well aware that things can change. There's a country that if you were to look at it 30 or 40 years ago, you would not recognize it. And I learned this when I was living near the country, and I learned that it used to be a very liberal place. But the pendulum swung back hard as fuck. It's 30, 40 years ago. Here, I'm going to show you the country. All right. We're going to open up maps. Actually, before I show the country, any guesses? There's actually more than just this country, by the way. There are a few countries in that region that they had a hard pendulum swing back. I'm just curious, can y'all take any guesses to what country you think that is? Because I'm pretty sure once I share it, maybe Frankie, maybe you may know, since you're almost 42, maybe you know, potentially. But no, I would be surprised if many of you know which country what I'm talking about. It's a large country. It's not a small country. They are a powerful country, and it's where a very long empire has existed. So while I look for it, I'm gonna wait just a couple seconds, and then we'll go to that country. Actually, yeah, we'll go to the country. While we go to it, I'll tell you the capital. It starts with a T. Any takers? Any guesses? All right, now it's frozen. I was actually scrolling. Okay, there it goes. I wasn't just sitting here waiting. I was actually trying to scroll. We are not even aware at this very moment that around 40 wars that are being fought. I'm aware. We're already in World War. It's just that, you know, in our country, our media, which I think is, you know, state owned. I mean, it's not state owned, but the same people in the state run the media. So it's like, it's pawned. How about it's pawned by the state. But yeah, I mean, we have stuff going on in Mali and Burkina Faso. I think there's something that was going on between Niger and Nigeria at one point. I want to say France is losing a lot of control over some of their colonies. I know there is some shit happening in this region of over here in this region. Gosh, what do you call that place? Oh, fuck, I forgot what it's called. Somaliland. Yeah. Somaliland and Somalia, like there's some things going on there. There's obviously the civil war that's been going on for decades in Yemen. There's, you know, the whole conflict over here. And oh, by the way, here's the country I was referring to. It is Iran and Tehran. This country used to be very different from what it is. Seriously. It is insane how big of a difference. And you want to know something? We're flirting with the same shit here. I want to here. Let me show y'all something. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Iran in the 70s. Can you believe that this is Iran in the 70s? Can you believe it? Let's see what Iran looks like today. 2024. And it's not just Iran. I'll be surprised. Yeah. Look what it looks like today. Let me show you what Afghanistan used to look like in the 70s and 60s. Let's see actually in the 60s. Afghanistan in the 60s. You will be surprised. This is Afghanistan. Hold on, wait. Let's look at more images. This is Afghanistan. I know a little bit about some of these places because I went to the region, as well as, you know, I had family who lived in the region, and like I learned a lot about the history, and I also have friends who are literally from here, and they told me like what things used to be like. So, you know, here in our country, we are flirting with, like, when I see where they are now, this is what scares me. It's that this is kind of where we could be leading. We could be going toward this. Like, this is Afghanistan. I don't think y'all can believe that this is what it used to be like. It recently changed. It changed because, well, they you know, they got a little bit too liberal, and then, you know, society started to fall apart because you had people thinking, "Oh, I don't need you," or "I have my own money. I can do this." The same shit. When I say history, like, it's not just me. Other people say it. History repeats to those who don't know it. And like, I see us walking down. This is why I'm like, I'm a student of history. Like, there are a lot of things that you know, we don't know. Not all of us. When I say we, I mean, like, for whatever reason, people don't take an interest in what's happened in the past in other places of the world to try to see what are the similarities between that place and this place, and what they were doing and what we're doing, and what it led to them. Like, what did it lead to for them? And why do we think that we are so different? That's arrogance, to think that we can do the same things that they did and we'll get a different result. This is freaking Afghanistan. This is the capital. Tell me you wouldn't want to live there. Afghanistan is beautiful, by the way. It's not anymore because of reason, you know, but like, it's beautiful, and like what we've done, and it's not just us, but like, you know, what's happened in that region. It's a shame. It's a shame. Let's see. Yes, in these regions where you have many minorities who are not even recognized by their governments. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that. It's not just them. It's Russia. Like, Russia is, I don't know if a lot of people know this. It's a federation, and it's composed of, you know, I won't call them autonomous, but semi-autonomous regions. And within Russia, there are all these different ethnicities, but we don't really think about that. We also don't consider Russia Asia, even though it is Asia. At least most of Russia is in Asia. Like over here near Mongolia, right? Like there are people here who, they don't look Russian, or especially when you get over to here in this region of Russia. I've seen some Russians. I'm like, I mean, obviously Russia is a nationality, but yeah, they look. I mean, they're Asian. They live in Asia, but they don't look like the Han, like Han Chinese. They don't look like them. They don't look like the Hakka. They don't look like them. They don't look like Vietnamese. They have their own distinct look in some of these regions. It's actually kind of interesting. In fact, when you travel the world, like it's really cool. Like you start to, at least that's what I don't know. I don't want to say you all, but I started to piece together a lot of stuff. For instance, when I was in Nigeria for a while, they have this dish called jollof. It's a rice dish. And when I tell you that after I had that, it made it very clear where my dish here in where I'm like Cajun Creole, kind of like in this region. So it's like jambalaya. When I had this, the first time, I was like, this is just like jambalaya. And it connected a dot for me. I was like, we actually didn't lose that much of our culture. I mean, we did, but we didn't lose as much as everyone says. They're like they took everything. That's false. Our cuisine, our culture of movement, dance, of rhythm, like that still is here. I'm talking about like the descendants of slaves here. By the way, I don't know if that's obvious at this point. Yeah, there's a big riot. Even in northern China, have their own language. Yeah, dude, like a lot of folks don't realize how diverse a lot of these places are, including places that we think as traditionally, they're all the same. For instance, in India, man, India is it's a diverse place. I don't even think they're Indians. Like, I don't even think all the Indians in India like each other. I think, I think it's just like here, where it's just so diverse, but we can only look at it as a giant state. We don't understand that, the people down here are very different from the people up here in these mountains. Oh, what the hell? Like over here in the mountains, like people are very different. The people that live closer to Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, they're very different. Well, they're not. They're similar, but they're kind of different, right? Kind of like if you keep going to the right, or I guess if you keep going east, you get into Myanmar and like, into the Siam dynasty and all these places, and you start to like notice, you start to be like, oh, you can kind of trace how humans went from place to place to place to place. And you start to notice that there are certain features, like structures that exist. And this is what is really cool to me. Like there are these structures that exist in this region, that exist in this region, and then they exist. I've never been to India, so I can't say. They exist in this region, even into Cambodia, and then you keep going, and then they exist over here in South America. It's just like it's too much, There's the same type of. I'm talking about pyramids, by the way, just in case that's not obvious. There are pyramids, and they have the same type of megalithic structure. It's quite fascinating. So you start to realize you're like, oh yeah, we really are all connected. Here, I want to show y'all. There's a people. It's the Khoisan. When you see these people, you're not going to believe what do they look like. These are Africans. All right, these are the Khoisan people. Let me make it a little bit bigger. All right, these are Khoisan Africans. Well, Mandarin is that's a very that's just the official state language. It's mostly because it's Han. That is the predominant. That's the predominant ethnicity in China is Han. I think it's like 76% or maybe 80% Han Chinese, but their population is over 1 billion. So, even the other smaller minorities still account for a larger absolute number than the United States of America. But yeah, can y'all believe this? These are Khoisan people, bro. Like, and when you look, they're from Africa. And yes, when I saw some of these people, I was like, what the hell? Like, it was interesting. I like, it's very interesting. Yeah. Some interesting things. You never expect to see this, and then you'll be like, wait, what? Huh? And then you start to understand, you're like, oh, wait, maybe maybe it's true. Maybe y'all did come from this place. Oh, by the way, if you're into languages, you will you will find it pretty fascinating to know that there are a lot of tonal languages in Africa. Just saying. No. Gosh, what's the one that the Nigerian language? Is it Igbo? Not Igbo. No. Gosh, I forget the language that they it's not the Hausa people. It's the I forget who speaks it, but basically the language is tonal. There are a lot of tonal languages. There are also like click languages as well, like rhythmic languages. And it puts a lot into perspective. It's like, for a lot of us, rhythm is very central to our culture. And it's interesting that in our language, or some of the languages, rhythm is a part of it. Also, tone is a part of it. Man, what's the language that they Nigerian language? I forget the language name. It's not Yoruba. It's going to be the. There are a lot of languages spoken in Nigeria. Just FYI. Vernacular Nigeria. No, I don't think that's it. I don't think this is it. Are these oh, maybe. Okay, maybe I was right. Okay. I didn't know Igbo was a language, or Yoruba. I didn't know that was a language. I thought that was the people. I know how, I thought all of these were the people. I didn't realize these were the languages. I don't know if I believe this. I don't think it's called Hausa like that. I don't think that's a language. Let me ask my friend. He knows. Yeah, I'll ask later. It's not that important. Yes, they have their own regional or tribal intonations that have their particular meaning. Yeah. Like all this is very interesting. If you're really into all this, I find it interesting. By the way, that's the kind of stuff that I like that. Like I like learning about other cultures and people and languages. Their myths, like the story creation stories. Like I like that kind of stuff. But like I said, I am committing to doing this type of content twice a month. I think that's the most I can bear at this point. But I think I had another playlist, or maybe I had to go through my history to find it, or maybe I put it in watch later. Speeches? No. Oh, okay. Maybe. Okay, here's some that I can go through. Oh, I have a lot of videos here. Okay. Men are oppressed, not women. They've been lying to you. Okay. Why women don't care about you. High value men ignore men. Okay. Let's this is short.
Hi guys. You've probably heard it said.
Yeah, we'll go through this, I guess. Unless y'all want to talk about something else. I won't be upset. Cause it's been what, 3 hours? So yeah. I think I can stay here for up to 4. I need to eat soon. So yeah, if y'all want to hang out some more, I'm down to stay here for another, 40 minutes or so. We can go through this video, or we can just, talk about whatever we've been talking about. Whatever that is. I don't know what we've been talking about. I'm just yapping. Rambling, because that's all I can do. I don't really have anyone to actually banter with, which is what I would prefer. For now, I'll just play this. I'll just assume that this is what y'all... you about to leave soon? All right, well, you have a good rest of the evening. I appreciate you sticking around for this long. I may be around tomorrow. Yeah, I may be around tomorrow, but I think what I'll likely be doing is editing video. In fact, that's what I need to do tonight, to be honest. Honestly, I should have been editing video. By the way, that's why my last few streams, that's why I've been editing video. I look at it as a way to align my stream goal with my video goal. I need 50 videos for the year, but I also need 400 stream hours. So I'm like, well, I may as well do the editing on stream. And, maybe that attracts, other types of folks too who are trying to learn Final Cut Pro. who can give me tips on Final Cut Pro or editing, that kind of stuff. Because if I can like crowdsource the editing process, decision making, of course, then I think that can make better content that way, because it's not just me saying, oh yeah, this is going to work. It's like us, we're looking at stuff. It's like, all right, well, what can we do to make it better than trash? Because I'm fine with putting out trash, but I also understand that if I want to continue to grow and actually add value, I have to, things are going to have to level up, production quality or production in general, right? So over time, if these start to get a little bit more attention and engagement, what you'll probably notice is I'll actually spend the time to improve the production, aka I'll do planning. We'll probably have segments. Oh, by the way, I have good news actually. I'm sure y'all know Andrew. Some of y'all know Andrew. I know you know Andrew Casual. What time? The best I can say is probably the second half of the day, probably in the evening. I got to wake up really early to go get a haircut. I'm riding my bike, so I'll go get a haircut, and I'll probably go down to Galveston, to the beach, just because. And then I may drop my bike off to the shop so that I can get the first service done. So it'll be after all of that. And obviously, if I do all of that, I'm gonna need a couple hours to rest and recuperate. Believe it or not, this is high energy for me, bro. Like this doing these streams, it's hard to explain, but it's very draining. It may seem like it's easy to just sit here at my house and just talk shit, but it's actually it's kind of draining. Just because it's not like a regular work. Like when I'm working, whenever I need to take a break, I can just get up and I can go stretch, I can go walk outside, I can go sit outside, I can work outside, I can go down to the pool and work. I can go to my office. I have an office over here. I can move around and kind of work. I don't have to just be in one place, and I don't always have to be talking. So it's a lot. It takes a lot for me to do this. Try to join me. Oh yeah. I'll be around. I'll probably be on for like 2 or 3 hours tomorrow. Especially if I end up editing a video, I'll probably just be on until I get a video edited. And this is part of the discipline part, where it's just like, believe it or not, I don't like editing either. Not yet. But here's what I believe. I believe that we should do the things that we don't enjoy and then find the joy within it. I think that's what builds character, and that's what makes you, the kind of person that other people like look up to and respect. So like most of the things that I do in my life, even now, the things that y'all may look at me and be like, oh, you seem like you're good at that. There was a time when I hated it. Like I used to hate programming. I didn't want to be a software developer for the longest. I looked at it as a failure. I felt like a failure when I had to go into the workforce, because I wanted to go into grad school for computer science to eventually get my PhD. And I realized that I probably don't have the mindset for that. Not the mind, but the mindset. Like to just, yeah. But yeah, all that to say is I do want to, I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, I'm glad to have you, Frankie. And I do, I wish you a good night. Enjoy whatever it is that you got planned that you're about to go and do. And, you'll catch me tomorrow maybe. If not, they're all on VOD, right? You can always leave a comment and I will read it. Maybe that'll dictate what I do in the next stream. What I will say for sure, though, is there won't be a stream on Sunday. Last year, I decided that I need to have some form of discipline of not doing things, right? I think there's two types of discipline. There's the discipline to do something, and then there's the discipline to not do something. And, I felt like I needed to, make time for myself to not work, because I work a lot. And it's not just, work, like the typical 9-to-5 work. It's just like I'm always doing something. But yeah, I was like, maybe I should, start taking some of the teachings from, the religion that started this country rather. And it's not just this religion. It's, Judaism, they have a Sabbath. Islam has a Sabbath, and Christianity also has a Sabbath. And I was like, you know what? all these systems of thought, they actually led to what we have now. So maybe I should do those things. Right? That's kind of where I'm at. Let's lean on the wisdom of those who came before us and who likely experienced some of the things that we're experiencing. Like, I don't understand why nowadays, because we live in the 21st century or like modern times, that we have to look down and then try to like look at these people like they were less than because they weren't born just now. Right. I think back then they were a lot more connected and they probably were more in tune with these types of things, and they probably saw what could happen. And, some of this stuff may have been canonized in story. Like, you could look at it as like, oh, it's all 100% true. Or you could look at it as a record of some events that probably happened and, some of the things that led up to it and what was going on during the times. And it's not just in the, the Christian Bibles, or the Ethiopian Christian Bible, or the Torah, or the Quran. There are other religious texts that I've started to look at, and they all seem to have some similarities. So I'm like, you know what? It's kind of like having pyramids in all these different places, and it's just like, you know what? Maybe maybe this shit, maybe there's something there. I don't know if there is. I don't want to say there's not, but maybe there's something there. I'll put it as this: Muslims have their Friday for themselves. Jews have their Sabbath Saturday. Christians have their Sunday. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Honestly, I think that the Christians, they moved it. I think that it was originally supposed to be like the Saturday or Sunday or Friday, but I think it's just having a day to rest, like just a day where you don't work. I think that's important. And this, I'm saying this as someone who went through burnout, right? Like I haven't really talked about this, and I probably won't talk too much about it, but yeah, this is why I ended up leaving the workforce for a couple of years and traveling the world for a while. And honestly, it's kind of what put me on this path. Like, I did ayahuasca after, some of my world travels. I picked up new interest in new different things just based off of what I experienced. So it was good to be able to, to do that. And I don't think that if I didn't go through burnout, I don't think I would be having, this, let's take a day off, kind of thing. Cause I understand like what could happen with burnout. It's deeper than you think. And also I understand how long it takes to recover. So it took me a while to recover. And honestly, the recovery didn't happen until I went out on my own and, I started, building my own stuff. And I don't know, something just happened. I don't know. That voice in my head kind of came back, and then it really came back when I did the ayahuasca thing. I had a whole deep conversation or something like that. But yeah, all that to say is yes. All that to say yes. All right, what do the rest of you all think? I mean, is there only one or two people here? I guess so. It'd be cool to hear y'all's thoughts while I can. And what I mean by that is, over time, I do know this will happen because this happens all the time. It happened to me in the past. I used to use YouTube, by the way. After a while, you get more and more and more comments, and you get more and more and more, activity in the chat, and it's hard to keep up with. And, it would be really cool to be able to, learn who some of you are now, so that, in the event that I do pop off, like I can know who to like really pay attention to. Because it's not lost on me that y'all are here now, right? Like that's, you may not value this much, but I do, right? Like you are here now before things, start taking off. So, I think it would be cool to build a relationship with some of you all, because I don't actually like having a bunch of people. Like that's hard for me to deal with. I can connect with a few people. So it's like, it'll be cool to actually connect with a few people, and then like as this grows, it's like y'all are the people who I really fuck with. It's like if I want to end up doing more, or if there's money involved, it's like of course I would be picking the people who've been here, because it's a loyalty thing for me. At least it's a loyalty thing. All right, well, I'm going to assume that no one here wants to chat because yeah. So I guess what we'll do is we'll go ahead and call it. We are at 3.5 hours, which is not too bad. I will be around tomorrow at some time, probably in the evening. Probably. And yeah, be on the lookout for maybe a video. I've already edited one. I don't know if I'll publish it, but I may put up another one and publish that one. So yeah, I will see you all in the future. Thank you for sticking with me up until this point. If you like this kind of content, consider giving it a thumbs up and commenting. That's actually how I'll know if this is the kind of stuff that y'all want to see more of. For now, I'm going to stick with the schedule of, I'm going to try to commit to it twice a month. I think this is the first time this month, so you expect another one later in the month. And yeah, we'll go from there. So y'all have a good rest of the evening and good night. Peace.